If these balls could talk, they would walk along the bases and into the fields. If these balls could talk with Mark and John and producer Pete.
Hey ballers, welcome to These Balls Could Talk, the podcast that loves The American Office but is unsure of the reboot coming out next fall. Do you guys know there's a reboot coming out?
Australia.
No. An American version
A reboot of what?
of The Office.
Oh.
Not heard about that. Just the
Yeah, coming out next fall. Now, this is one thing I've heard. I don't know if it's true. Jim Halpert is supposed to be leading The Office. If that is true, I'm not a fan of it.
I don't like that at all. He left to do a sports thing.
I know. But we digress. Anyway, this is Mark along with John and our producer, Pete.
Yeah, that's not.
And we're getting ready to discuss the latest in sports, tech, and pop culture. If you like what you hear or see, please like us or hit that subscribe button, or as we like to say, tickle that little bell. Joining us
Amazing.
tonight is someone we haven't had on the show in a long, long time, but she's with us every week because she sings our theme song.
Yes.
Our creative director, Stephanie Ford-Steffan, is here.
What's up?
Good
And she
evening,
was the
Steph, and
OG.
How are you?
I'm
She's the
doing
OG.
fabulous.
What up, girl? Hey, Pete, her mic sounds
So-
weird. FYI.
Oh, can you hear me?
That's because
Because he's not doing his job.
That's because.
Uh-oh, Pete, do we have to demote you to be her assistant again?
It's-
Hello.
how
That's
does
better.
that, is that better?
Oh,
I'm
you
so
had my
sorry.
mic off,
I'm
bitch.
so
You had your wife
sorry.
muted, Pete.
I'll whip him into shape
You weren't
after.
supposed to say that. It sounded great before that. No, I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
So we're back after a long break. John, I know you've had a lot going on, but why don't you tell us as much as you would like to tell us about what's been going on with you?
So we took 2 weeks off. As you guys know from the last episode, my dad was real sick. My dad's still real sick. I saw him today. So I just got back from Westchester and boy, my arm's tired. I don't know.
Oh wait, we have a soundboard, don't we?
I mean, his speech is getting better, and physically he's getting better, but cognitively he's getting worse. So I think this is just where we are. And I told Mel this today when I was driving home. I'm like, I don't know, man. Mellow John is cool as shit. I'm just like, this is what it is. So, I don't know, like even a year ago, I think my head would have exploded by now. But Christmas
yeah.
was nice. Jamie had a really, really good Christmas. It was small, but like we saw Pete and Steph a bunch. We saw Liam a bunch, and I'm just really ready for the new year. I'm ready for the show to keep on kicking ass. Up to 61 subs. Super excited about that.
Super excited.
They're all Pete's mom.
Yeah.
Pete, is your mom making
Barb has
different
so many
to
accounts.
follow us? That'd be amazing.
She might be.
The Stefan's got me new cans, so I look like a professional.
That
Yeah.
sounds like
He
boobs.
has new cans.
That's
yeah.
industry talk for headphones.
We don't have that much money.
Show us your cans, John.
Yeah.
Let me see those cans.
Oh no. It's a good thing
This
we
is
have the
going to be
mature
an
rating flag.
X-rated.
It gets,
And I mean,
gets taken
hey,
down from YouTube.
back. Happy 2025, everybody. Mark, I
Yes.
see that you're somewhere. Why don't you explain that?
I am not at home right now. I am in the state of California having a nice time in the sun, although it's not too much warmer here today. Although
But it
today
is
it did
much
reach
earlier.
the 70s. It's also much earlier, yeah, but it's I would love to show you guys the sun, but oops, I
No,
almost
don't.
knocked over my microphone.
Where in California did you say?
I am in Ventura, which is just a little bit north of Los Angeles.
Okay.
But I'll be actually going to Santa Barbara tomorrow, and then
Nice.
we're but also going down to Los Angeles to watch a Lakers game.
Are you gonna go to Pebble Beach and
Ooh.
not tell me?
No, I would love
Right
to be able to
there.
go to Pebble
It's
Beach.
right there. Santa
It's right
Barbara,
there.
man.
It's right there. I know. I don't know. I'll be driving,
It's
so
only
maybe
like
I'll just
a
happen to take
400
a look.
It's only like a $400 T fee. You're
A little more than that.
It's more than 4 now. It's 4
I
when
I
I
think
went,
it's
like 10 years ago.
yeah.
Gosh.
Oh yeah, I think it's approaching $1,000 now. I think.
Oh wow.
If it hasn't
Holy
already.
poop.
Damn.
Hey, chat, tell us if you've ever golfed Pebble Beach.
Simulated? Does
Pete-
that count?
Pete, why don't you clue us in on what's been going on with you?
don't know what's been going on. It's a new. It's a new year.
You don't know?
We visited my parents for Christmas over the weekend. It was kind of nice. Yeah, we got to see all the cousins play. That was a ton of fun.
Luukkonen.
We saw
Your cousin
Ukko-Pekka-Luukkonen.
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen?
No, but we watched him at a bar because Steph and I escaped to see my cousin
In
Doug.
Buffalo.
Well, it's not like he was at the bar with us. He was in a TV screen.
No. We met up with Doug, not
Oh!
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. That would have been cool. But we watched
Gotta take a
Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen
picture.
save 35 shots and break the Sabres like stupid losing streak. So that was cool.
That is
Yeah, shout out to Doug.
name.
Yeah.
Doggy Fresh.
Shout out Doug. We got a new light too. It's over there. Because my other light broke. Whoa! All of a sudden, I just I see this like head of hair in front of the camera.
Say bye.
Hey, Jay.
Hi, JB.
All right,
Say bye.
Oh, it started?
Yeah, started.
I'm trying to find the
Yeah,
questions.
We're live,
You're
Jay.
on
we're live.
YouTube.
There they are.
YouTube.
You're gonna go
YouTube.
viral. You're gonna go
James, go to
viral.
Go to bed.
Adorable talk show host loves his daughter.
Yes.
Next
All right,
at
Pete,
11.
All right. Hey, everyone. Why did the campfire join the band? To help everyone warm up before the big show. It's time for Warm Up Your Ball.
Aw.
As a reminder, Pete will spin the wheel that will randomly select the question that hopefully our guest will answer. Are you ready, Pete?
No,
I'm not.
but we'll try.
I'm like more nervous
Told
than
somebody
when
to
I would.
hang out with us today.
Wait, who's hanging out with us?
I told somebody on Instagram to hang out with us at the show today.
I'm like more nervous than I would give than when I gave book reports.
Oh,
I
no.
hate random questions.
Give me a second. We're not perfectly centered in the screen.
But they're supposed to be questions that to get to know you a little bit more.
Yeah.
So there should be,
Oh,
you know,
there's-
like what is your deepest darkest secret?
Well, I can't tell my husband.
Deep dark.
I mean-
we have this middle school nightclub / skating rink / bar around us called Secrets, and the commercials on local radio are terrible. They go,
Secrets.
Secrets. It's really bad.
That's pretty
Just letting you
bad.
guys know, in case anybody cared.
Wasn't that like a resort for like people to go to and hook up with like Secrets
maybe.
Resort? Like
I thought that might have been in a movie.
in like Jamaica or something?
There might have been a movie about that. There was a movie about that one like singles resort or something. No, it was supposed to be like a couples therapy resort, and then they looked across the island and they saw this huge party. Like, what is that? Like, oh, that's the singles part of it. They're like, this looks fucking awesome. Why are we over there?
It's an adults only resort.
Hey, man, you gotta
Anyway.
put something in that fourth screen.
Well, I didn't have time.
Lame.
Lame. Exactly. Lame.
Hey, at least we're centered in our part. It's the black void
all
of
good.
doom. Next time we have a
Void of Doom.
yes. Next time we have a 3-panel thing, I'll make one of those. Hey, you're lucky I made the main one for the main part of the show.
All right, Pete,
Appreciate
get
you.
spinning.
Okay.
Do your job.
Balls.
All right. Oh, and I just realized it's in the wrong color space too. Freaking Photoshop. Anyway,
All right, I'm just gonna
Nobody
drink.
cares about that,
all right.
Pete.
Let's spin the wheel.
We are allegedly professionals.
Spin to play.
What's the first thing
We'll
you
put
do
that
when
in
you
the
wake
post.
up?
That's a lame question. I'm sorry.
We can
You're a
redo
lame question.
We can redo it.
I have anxiety about getting up and
Do you
Getting
put
out of bed?
Folgers in your cup?
ew, no, I'm not my dad.
Being around your house and your
Ugh.
dad for so long, he did actually put Folgers in his cup back when it was cool. Which
But he still
He did.
does. The first thing I do when I wake up, I get out of bed. I actually make the bed because I like to come home to a made bed. That's my OCD, but also I just
Holy
like
shit,
things to be
Steph, right?
organized.
Wait.
Even
You
if
make
Pete's
it
still
while
in the
Pete's
bed.
Still in it? Yes.
No, we wake up at the same time.
Sometimes actually she does make it when I'm still in it.
And then I say, "This
I
is your
have
cue to get up."
Yeah, and then the light goes on.
I
I'm
have
like,
to
oh,
yell at so
alright.
many people to get them to make their beds in the morning. Sorry, Mel. Sorry, James.
So technically, that is the first thing I do. Very, very exciting.
I mean, me is usually just as Steph's making the bed on top of me and turning the light on, telling me to get up.
Not as much as it used
Do you
to.
get like
No.
tied in like this?
No, I mean, once in a while. But I've been better
Once in a while.
lately because I know I got to get up. I got to get the kid up. And,
Yeah, you got no excuses now. We got a kid.
Excuse me. Okay.
You animal.
You're leaving that one in, John.
No.
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 Okay.
I'm gonna be really honest with you guys.
Unless we have a burp track.
I poo. The first thing I do is poo.
Really? You can just get up and poo right away?
Get up and poo.
See, I used to poo in the morning, but now it just whenever it comes.
Whenever it takes you.
Yeah.
I used to
Wherever the poo takes me.
I really used to poo. As soon as I got up in the morning. Okay, anyway. That was really lame.
He would never get to work if he pooped every morning.
No, it'd be like...
I don't. It takes
You just don't go to work in the morning. That's why he likes to work from home.
His first half hour of his work from home days is from the toilet.
Oh man, working from home is so much better when you can poop in
IT
your own
support
house.
from the throne.
Oh my god, it's the best.
Okay.
I
I
love
support
pooping
from
in my
everywhere.
house.
I have
Spinning the
found
wheel.
out, you bring that up. I can literally do my job from anywhere.
Awesome.
Anywhere. I did it from the hospital room today. The whole day.
Well, as long as you have internet connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, next question. What is one of your biggest pet peeves? I should look at you when I'm asking you.
My
this.
husband. No.
That's fair.
Oh, wait.
I mean, when people don't listen to me is definitely a pet peeve. And my bosses do it. A lot of people do it. My husband does it all the time.
It's true.
What's one of my biggest pet peeves besides that?
Me not listening to you. It's up there.
Wow, you guys are just in lockstep. It's really, really very good.
I got a good answer for
gosh.
this one. We talked about this on New Year's Eve.
Oh, for yourself,
For
but it's
myself.
not for you.
No. Well, it's for all. We
Oh.
I mean, you get the first dibs, so if you got any more of them.
Hey, wait. Is Thursday night football over?
Oh.
Wait.
Wait.
Yeah, I don't believe there's a Thursday night game.
Yeah, I don't think there
What?
is.
Really?
What am I supposed to fucking watch?
Everything I think is
Our
on Sunday.
faces?
Oh yeah, that's right. I usually have the game on in the background. Well,
Well, you know yours, Pete.
yeah, my biggest pet peeve is people driving under the speed limit in roads where I can't pass them. It's the most
literally,
annoying.
like,
Basically, all
you
of
just want to take a second to talk about your morning commute where it's a single lane road for like
20 miles.
5 miles.
Forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forever.
So yeah, I got off the 87 at. It used to be exit 12. Now it's 11E in Nassau, and from there it's like you got a 35-mile-an-hour limit. Then you got like 10 seconds of 2 lanes, and oh my god, I'm like go 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 go, like sit past like there's a truck. Today I went past a friggin' like wide load construction vehicle thing with like. It wasn't one of those ones that have like half a house on it, but it was a giant vehicle, like ripping through to try to pass that, because I know if I don't, I'm doomed. But then you'll pass that and you'll be like, all right, start going down the hill, and then someone turns onto the road in front of you and goes like 45 and a 55.
So
and
there's
you're like,
one section, and
fuck
okay,
my
it's
life.
been 9 years, so I don't remember, but there's one section where you can get off that
oh,
Uh-oh.
that takes you into the middle of nowhere. Pete and I had the same morning commute for a little while. Can you guys hear me?
yeah, we
froze for a
for a second.
I think that looked like it to me. That looked like your bandwidth because you guys got pixelated.
Steph and I?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it was. I don't know. Well, the podcast has 0 drop frames, so maybe my download got messed up, and the upload is perfect.
So I used to commute with somebody, and they used to. There was a spot where you could go off of that main road, and you could do back roads like giant slalom, like off road in a Suzuki truck, like
There's some cool windy roads back there.
10
Yeah.
miles, and used to be able to get past people. He used to do that shit all the time. I was afraid for my life.
Yeah. Fun times. How about you, Mark? You got a pet peeve?
Yeah, just people being stupid.
I mean,
Wow.
it's pretty good.
I feel,
I mean, I don't know if there's any such thing as common sense anymore. I think we've had this conversation. It's just, I don't know, just people being stupid.
Of course, there's no more common sense. We're in the darkest timeline now.
There might
I
be
don't think there's been common sense for a while.
No. But that's okay. We move on.
Is it?
I mean, not really, but we still move on.
we're gonna move on. We're gonna survive.
That's good, John.
I don't like clutter.
Oh God, clutter.
Oh.
I just really don't like it. And I live with clutter bugs, and so my OCD anxiety, like, the minute I get home, I just pick up things for 20
I think
minutes.
Stephanie feels
You-
your anxiety.
But
through
he
the
picks them
podcast
up while
right
people
now.
are still using things. I don't do that.
Sometimes.
Yes.
He rips
At
glasses
Chri-
out of people's hands.
At Christmas, I definitely poured out at least 2 of Pete's drinks.
But he doesn't remember because he's like a goldfish.
There was one that I like just poured, and
that
I
I
sat
know
down
of.
for 2 seconds, and I was like, "Where'd my glass go? I just set it down." you and my mom.
You can't put it in my way when I'm in cleaning mode.
Yeah,
I'm always in parties.
I know.
So
I made the mistake of putting it on his kitchen counter when he was in the kitchen
Nope.
near the sink.
no
it
way,
was
man.
gone.
No way. And
That's why you need to
so,
write your name on glasses or have little
Yeah.
charms, and then you
My
know it's
poor wife
yours.
actually really hates it because she feels it really like critically, and I'm literally just like in a like a blind OCD anxiety like whirlwind where I'm just this.
But do you realize you wash more dishes because people have to get 7 glasses out?
I need to.
I don't.
I need to write next time I'm at John's party. I need to write for 2 reasons. One, so John doesn't throw it out, and 2, so someone will return it to me because I always leave my drinks places, and I'm like, "Where did I put my beer?"
Or you can buy a big dumb cup.
Maybe, but I need to
No,
write on it
don't,
like
please.
Pete's cup. Please return to Pete. He lost it. Signed, Pete.
No, we're
No,
not.
no, no,
we're a
no,
no
not the
dumb
big
cup
cup.
family.
No, not the big dumb cup. There's a shrine of those at Dick's, by the way, in Latham. I walked in there and it was just
Dick's.
like, right, you walk in the door, you go to the right, and you're like,
So
oh.
this is my.
There's like
medium
1,000
dumb
of them.
cup, and there might or might not be 4 Stanleys in my house. I think
Amazing.
5 Stanleys. But I live with the preteen though, so it doesn't.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. One more question, and then we're moving on.
We got more time. Oh no.
We do have more. Oh,
4 minutes and 49. 48.
That's enough for maybe even 2. Yeah, for 2, maybe.
all right.
A new thing. Oh.
What's a new thing? Yeah. Are you taking my job?
Yeah. Because you're not doing it. You're just
The
staring
problem
at
is,
it.
the question's over here, and Steph's over
Oh my
here,
god,
so
I
I have
watch
to be
Steph
like,
on all the time.
what's a new thing you've tried recently?
Pete.
Aside from that thing we did the other night.
Wait, you just tried it, but you had a baby.
It's not his.
There are more ways to do that one thing.
I don't know. What have I tried recently? These questions are like, I don't know. It's hard for me to think. I'm a bad
Yeah,
guest
this
because I
is a
can't
deep one.
think.
All right, Pete, why don't you spin again then?
Okay, respin. Respin. What's one fun fact about you that not many people know? I mean, we probably know it, but
I don't know. Oh God, I'm so bad at this.
You
Well,
don't.
I
how
could
about like a talent or something like that you have?
I
Also,
don't-
don't mention that thing we did the other night.
Pete, I love when you have a joke you like.
Sometimes.
Say it again and again.
That was a callback.
I songwrite, and I don't know if many people know that. I've been doing it
There you
for I
go.
don't know since I was in high school.
She's
I mean,
really good at it.
they were really bad back then.
But you're really good at it now.
But yeah, I don't know if a lot of people know that about me.
And she doesn't just write the
Any
lyrics.
of your-
She's got lyrics, or she's got melody. She doesn't just write lyrics. She's got lyrics. She has melodies and stuff too, and like some like
Can you-
whole
can
like
you
structures for
divulge
songs.
About any songs that you wrote about recently, other than the ones about how much you hate Pete?
Well, to be honest, I
That's like a
haven't.
whole album,
I
though.
haven't written in a little bit
Solid.
since having Liam. I've written like
About
a tiny
13
bit of
about-
stuff.
In about 13 to 14 months.
Huh? Oh, 13, 14 months, yeah. Not a full song since then. But yeah.
I mean, you must write. Do you write down song ideas like as soon as it pop into your head?
Yeah.
You
So,
wanna write down ideas?
my voice memos are just filled with
Yeah.
things, melodies or lyrics. My notes on my phone
do
are
it
just
all
filled up. I had to make a whole separate section for just song lyrics, ones that are complete, ones that I'm in the middle of. So yeah, I just love doing that kind of stuff and writing.
Should I put my writing on a blogspot page? For the poetry that I write. I was
Oh,
updating
really?
it pretty regularly, and then I stopped because that's what happens. But
I forgot you used to. I forgot you used to write stuff like that occasionally.
I mean, I've been writing since high school.
Since he was like 4.
yeah. Okay, no, that's not my weird talent though. My weird.
Well, no one
talent
said
is that
weird. Just a fun fact.
The fun fact is I can pick up anything with my toes. Anything. Challenge accepted.
Yeah, prove it.
Okay, wait a second.
While he's doing that, by
Pick
the
up
way,
Jamie.
There's a truck outside my room right now. Is that coming through at all?
Not at all.
No, can't hear
No,
it.
don't hear it at all.
All right, good. Ooh.
Wow.
That was dumb.
Can you maybe
that is a truth fact.
maybe back in your heyday, but could you play video games using your toes as a controller, or like you
Ew.
controlling the controller with your toes?
Gross.
Pete, tell your story, because I know this.
I beat Mega Man 2 using an NES Advantage controller, which is like those big arcade sticks. You might have known it from in Ghostbusters 2. They controlled the Statue of Liberty with it. But I was able to beat Mega Man 2 using my left foot with between my toe and second toe, or big toe and second toe, like around the joystick. And then the buttons were big enough that I could use my big toe and second toe and my right foot to press the buttons and beat the game.
So I know you told me you beat this game, but I don't remember you saying it was with your feet.
Did you know that feet stuff grosses your wife
I'm still
out?
really good at that
Feet
one.
gross me out.
Yeah, feet stuff gross your wife out, so it's really good. Not gonna do that thing tonight, I don't think.
And that's the third time. And that,
Not
and
with feet.
And that's how a joke works.
We're at time.
Something's going on with my upload speed. So I don't know how much of that I was.
I mean, you
around.
seem great.
I can see you and hear you fine.
Okay.
Your frame rate's awesome. What's happening is Pete is getting pixelated.
I'm pixelated? You're pixelated.
Whoa. I don't know what's happening. Mark
'cause-
has great bandwidth, and you get pixelated.
And
so-
Mark looks fine on our end. It's just you.
Yeah.
face.
All right.
I don't know. You both became pixelated on my view, so I thought it was.
I mean,
It's all
it
of
is
us.
you.
But you know what
on
it's
a
also
hotspot?
time
But
for?
it's not
You're on a
Mark.
hotspot, it is you.
I am not. I am on the Wi-Fi.
But you know what also it's time for? Mighty Morphin Power Rankings! That's so loud.
It is supposed to be.
I'm never ready for it. And I'm dancing, but I'm also shocked from the volume. So I'm like,
You know what sucks about that? I don't have a short. I don't think I saved the short clip, so I don't have it for the for the editing. I need to.
Gotcha.
Concerned about it, so it's not doing it. Anyway, Pete, do your thing.
Okay. Well, ladies and gents, I'll read my trusty little blurb here to get us started. The Lions hang in. Oh, thank you. The Lions hang on, and an electric end to this week's games. That was a good one. Honestly, the NFC looks scary as hell. So it's just NFC, and then the Chiefs and Bills. Allen's the MVP. Don't worry. I know I have the Bills 5th. Stay faithful, everybody. They beat the Chiefs. They're going to number 1 in this list in the playoffs. I mean, at that point, they'll probably be in the Super Bowl.
They'll
So
be. Yeah.
Beat the Chiefs once.
they
All
can,
right,
they
so
can do it again.
Check this out, though, Pete. Week 18, obviously the Chiefs beat the Broncos, so that's one thing.
No, the Bills are going to beat the Broncos. Chiefs have a bye.
Is
So-
that obvious?
It's going to be Chiefs
that
and
obvious?
Ravens. It's going to be Chiefs versus
Chiefs
no.
Mahomes
It'll be
is
Chiefs
playing.
versus the winner
I'm
of
not
against
talking
the
about Week
Broncos.
18, Pete.
this week.
There's
Yeah.
more football.
Didn't they already beat the Broncos? No, they beat the Chargers.
You think even
the
without
Broncos.
Mahomes,
I'm thinking of the Chargers, yeah.
the refs will kiss their butts?
They
I
will.
just love the Broncos or the Ravens or the Chiefs.
Blah, 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 blah.
So this is what has to happen because Cool Joe Burrow won me a championship. Chiefs beat the Broncos. The Jets beat the Dolphins. and obviously the Bengals win, and then Joe Burrow wins the MVP and the Super Bowl and becomes the president of the United States.
How about no? Burrow can have it next year.
That's exactly the order that's going to happen.
That's exactly the order.
That's the order.
It will be a heroic
Anyway.
shootout
Print that.
at Highmark Stadium, but the Bills will pull ahead with that one. And then they got to play the Ravens. So this is the Bills are like beating like the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, like the ghost of like lost seasons. They're going to have that. Wouldn't that be textbook right there? They're lining it up. If the Bills to get revenge on the Bengals, then the Ravens for their beating them this year. And then finally the Chiefs slay the dragon. Anyway.
Yeah, I'd rather them not even have to
I
play
don't
the
see
Chiefs.
Bengals getting in.
I
don't see the
think
Bengals
that-
getting in.
It's going to be really tough.
I think that the Broncos lose, and I think that the Bengals win. But I don't.
The Broncos
think that
lose
the
even though
Dolphins-
Mahomes is not starting?
I don't think that the Dolphins win. That seems
Yeah,
ridiculous.
because Aaron Rodgers is supposed to play, and
But
Aaron
the
Rodgers
Dolphins-
is
Rodgers.
The Jets can't beat
Well,
anybody.
Wait, it's Dolphins versus Jets?
the Jets can't. But Tua, I think, is still hurt.
Yeah, Tua is still hurt, but
I
it's the
think
Jets.
They're starting someone else. I forget. I'm blanking on it now.
I mean,
But, however, if we don't
the
think
Jets
that
are a
the
dumpster
NFL
fire.
is, if we don't think that the NFL is fixed, last week for the Bengals story, the Giants beat the Colts and scored 45, and I didn't think that was even possible.
true. Well, in my blurb here, as you can see, do not let the Bengals in the playoffs for this reason.
Is Drew Lock your new quarterback, John?
Well, we fucked up the draft, so maybe. But we're gonna talk about that.
It's very possible.
talk.
It's better than any other solution. All right, Green Bay. I'm losing it a little bit with Green Bay. They're racking up a couple injuries. They're not looking as
Christian
flashy as they
Watson's
were
hurt.
earlier in the year. Yeah.
I
When
think
Christian
they're too
Watson
high.
goes down, that team gets worse.
It's not as good.
Not as good.
I like seeing-
They don't have a true number one.
They
so
don't. And I liked seeing Romeo Dobbs
any-
do some stuff last week, but it
Yeah.
still didn't seem the same though. It's one fewer
in a
good
lot of
weapon.
respects, Tucker Kraft is their number one.
Except for the middle of the season where he sucked in fantasy. Mark your volume slow again, bud.
Oh, because I have to make out with
Yes.
test. No, game. That's funny. The game went down.
Well, why do they?
How's that?
Oh, that's really loud.
Very loud.
Go back.
How's that?
That's still really
Why
loud.
is this? Why, it's monkey playing around with me. How's that?
Okay.
What's up with that?
Isn't that an
What's
analog knob? Shouldn't that stay in the same place? You got an audio interface now. It's supposed to stay in the
What's
same
up with
spot.
What's up with that?
What's up
What
with that? Boom, 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 boom. This section of Power Rankings is interrupted by just everyone breaking into song. Okay.
We're going
Let's-
to go over repeats, so just go nuts. 'cause
You're
we
never
don't-
gonna get
All right.
through this segment.
Hey, you know what? This is the penultimate Power Rankings for the regular season. So, all right. The Rams, I got them at 9. So did Rich Eisen. They're scary. They're really good.
It's a little. I actually think that's low.
Rams look great.
I would feel totally fine swapping them and the Commanders right now. Maybe even putting them as high as 7.
I think they're better than the Packers. I think
You
they're
think
better
so?
than Packers and Commanders. Yeah.
I mean, a
They've got
completely healthy
Puka.
Rams-
I mean, it's a
Oh,
little
but Puka
Puka
and
heavy,
Tyree.
but he's so good.
Yeah.
You're a little
Cooper.
Puka
They're all
heavy.
they're all healthy now. It's
Yeah.
I don't want to go
The,
against them.
the defense has been getting better.
I mean, look at the last 3 games they won. It was like 12 to
I
9,
saw-
9 to 6
And
or
their
whatever.
defense and O line is crazy.
Yeah.
I saw something on social media that predicted a Bills Rams Super Bowl.
It's possible.
fun.
I mean,
No, I want Lions or Vikings.
Detroit would have to have too many injuries, and Sam Darnold would have to like remember that he's Sam Darnold and not
Honestly,
Superman.
The whole country wants Lions Bills.
I don't mind Vikings
I would
either
love
because they
that.
haven't won.
Yeah, I would take
I
Vikings
just want
too.
someone who hasn't won yet.
And the Vikings are scary. Their defense is really good.
Vikings Bills.
I don't want Eagles.
No, anyone but the Eagles in the NFC.
And if it can't be the Bills, the Ravens.
yeah, give Lamar,
Want Lamar.
give Lamar a ring then. If it can't be the
Being
Bills
a Patriots fan, I can't support the Ravens, even though I
King
do like
Henry.
Oh.
bro.
Go poop your pants.
and Derek, Derek Henry deserves it too.
Granted, if King
Done.
Henry wins that Super Bowl, then he comes back next year and he's not as hungry, and maybe I don't win another fantasy championship back-to-backs.
Hey, you know what? They're sitting Saquon.
That's
well,
true.
or-
We didn't mention
oh, yeah,
that, but
we're-
I think we will later.
We're going to tease I'm teasing that we're going to talk about if
Are we going to talk about the bottom?
yeah, let's go down the list here. Pittsburgh, I'm getting also a little bit lost on. Tampa Bay,
They lost 3 in a row.
I'm just going to go on my significant ones. Bengals, don't let them in the playoffs. And same with the Bucks, honestly. Baker Mayfield is looking really good, and I would be scared in the NFC with them. I think they're pretty good. I could put them higher. I could put them as high as 10 in this list. Great win, by the way, by the Commanders. I'm scrolling up and down like a madman. And
I love watching the Commanders this year. The Commanders are nothing but exciting.
it's fun. And
Both
you know,
sides of the ball really fun. They they air it out all the time. Jaden is.
I chose the
Jaden
wrong
is
rookie
so-
quarterback.
Jaden is so fucking fast.
yes. And nothing is less interesting than a bunch of teams that just missed the playoffs, so they haven't moved. They're just kind of stuck in the middle in purgatory. So let's go down now to the bottom. John, I kept the Giants at the bottom even after their 45-33 win
Because they were stupid.
Yeah.
they're
Doesn't
so
make any
bad that they
sense.
failed at tanking.
There's now,
Like-
and we're going to talk about this too. There's now a 1% chance that the Giants get the number 1 pick.
No.
A 1% chance.
You know who
Ooh,
does?
and what
you know who-
team has the highest chance now?
I was going to say, you know who is looking at the number 1 pick
But
is
you
the
know-
24th ranked
and
New
yet you
England
only moved
Patriots.
them down one.
You know what's going to be great?
Because they
about that?
lost one, because they look good. Drake May is, hey, the most important thing by a
Giants
long
are-
shot is your
Giants
quarterback,
are
and
gonna
that's the
win
best part of
out,
your
and
team right
Mark's
now.
gonna owe me
Which means the
2 bottles of
Patriots
scotch.
shouldn't try to win over the
No.
Bills.
They shouldn't.
Dose bottles of
But the
scotch.
Bills are trying to not start anyone important either, so this is going to be the worst game ever.
Wait, why do I owe you scotch?
Because the Giants are going to win next week and the Patriots are going to lose.
Oh,
And
the bet was
currently they have the same-
who would do worse this year. I forgot
No,
about
the
that.
bet was who would do better.
Who would do better?
Yep. Yep.
In a surprising turn of events.
God.
Parody.
I'm gonna have to buy John a distillery soon. I think.
It's amazing. So,
It's
guys,
amazing.
I threw the Raiders and Jaguars up just because of how annoyed I was with these other teams down here at the bottom. Are you guys happy with this list? And the Jets, if I could have put the Jets tied at 29th, 30th with the Titans, Bears, and Saints, I could have. But
The Jets are so fucking bad.
it's so bad, but it's
so bad.
they're not as bad as the Raiders and Jaguars
Pete,
this season. I
know
don't
you
think.
noticed this.
It's
but if
close.
anybody who's
I'm
listening
sorry,
didn't
but they have
notice
Aaron
this,
Rodgers. They are at that bad.
The
Got
Jets
sacked like
walked-
5 times.
They said
Jets
he's the
walked
most sacked
out.
QB in NFL
He
history now.
looked old. He
Yeah.
looked old at last meeting.
Yeah.
The Jets walked out to play the AFC topping Buffalo Bills to Gangster's Paradise on a Jets branded boombox.
It was a giant boombox. Did you guys see the meme of Josh Allen in the background?
Josh
And he zoomed in
Allen,
and he's
the
like,
look at him.
huh?
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right, we should end on the Josh Allen weird face.
Huh? Okay.
Nice. I'm into it.
All right. We would like to thank one of this week's fake sponsors, Prime Pivot Basketball Drills app. Level up your game with Prime Pivot, the virtual coach that breaks down footwork, shooting form, and ball handling. Yeah, it does. Prime Pivot. Practice smarter, play harder.
Should have
Yeah.
pivot your balls.
Everyone, shall we kick off this shindig?
Let's do it. I don't have
I'll be
Mark's
honest,
song,
I haven't refreshed any of my next song or next topic songs. Ooh wee. What's the first topic? What's the first topic?
What's up?
Ooh wee.
Good enough.
I want a tracksuit. Mark, send me a branded tracksuit. I'm into it.
I may have a new oh yeah, you John, you already know because you heard it from Katie. All right, so we're repivoting our first topic. I had something different, which we'll go over a little bit later, but something pretty dramatic happened yesterday that we definitely need to talk about.
Mark, why do you have a
the New
football
York-
in front of you?
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
What are you
I
talking
think that's
about?
you, Pete.
Did I just somehow put a football in front of Mark's face on my video? And I can't get rid of it. Okay, there it goes.
Like Mark's
It's gone.
trying to talk seriously.
I'm so sorry. No, somehow a football icon just appeared in front of you.
Guys, I'm trying to be serious here.
You literally
All right.
just took Mark's serious topic right off the rail.
I'm so sorry. Okay, start over.
You
All right,
better, Pete.
So the new year did not get off to a great start with a recent truck ramming on Bourbon Street in New Orleans and Cybertruck explosion in front of the Trump Hotel in Las Vegas. There were street barriers in New Orleans, but the driver, who was an Army veteran, found a way around them and ultimately used the truck as a battering ram into a massive crowd. Meanwhile, the driver of a Cybertruck, who was also an Army veteran, and had remains of fireworks-style mortars, camping fuel, and gas canisters that were discovered within the vehicle.
And
after the
automatic
explosion.
weapons.
We could direct this conversation to a mental health discussion, considering these are both Army vets. However, we're gonna pivot it more towards discussing security repercussions. So, everyone, do we feel these attacks are a start of things to come And have we as a country become complacent in our security measures?
I mean, I don't know. The video of all the cops hanging out outside a Bourbon Street bar and running to, oh shit, something's going on, like 12 cops.
Yeah,
All the
right.
excuses in New
The
Orleans.
reaction was worked out really well, but the security measures are supposed to be, proactive, right?
Now, so I spent the last 2 days in a hospital room, so we watched a lot of news, and so this was on the news literally both days. And I just looked at my mom today, and I was like, maybe I watched too many sci-fi films and like spy thrillers and whatever, but like, why did the guy in Las Vegas have guns, identification? Like, it seemed like he pulled up to do something nasty, and something went wrong. Like,
You-
I don't know if the events are related or unrelated, but it seems just like they're unrelated.
I think they are related. I heard that both cars were rented from the exact same agency.
Really?
I did too. I did hear that. I don't know if that's just because it's really easy to rent on, in like, if you're gonna do something underhanded, you rent from this company. I mean, I think it's really hard to talk about. Nobody really knows what's going on.
I know that
Nobody
there
really
was
knows what happened.
there's certain that the one in New Orleans they didn't act alone, but I didn't hear anything about them connected to the
That
other
was
other
yesterday,
terror
so
attack.
The FBI today said that he did act alone in New Orleans.
Oh, they did.
I don't-
Okay, I didn't have the update
Well,
then.
I mean,
But no.
didn't they also find IEDs like within the stadium in New Orleans? Like
They
this
found
is
more-
one thing I didn't quite.
What's an
understand.
IED?
An
improvised
explosive
explosive
device.
When this first happened, they so the big event that's happening in New Orleans right now is the Sugar Bowl. Actually, it's finished already. It was supposed to happen yesterday. It's like the semifinals of the college football playoff that's going on. A big event, big crowd pleaser and whatnot. When this happened, they did not postpone the game immediately, and
Were they just
which
trying to
I think
keep
is
it-
a fail.
Were they just trying to
I
keep
think it's a
people
fail.
calm? Yeah.
No, I think there's like we're fine. We're just gonna have the game go on.
Oh, yeah, that's
but
not good.
then they found IEDs like around the stadium. It's like, okay, maybe we'll postpone. I personally think this game should have been postponed like multiple days. However, there's a lot of money involved in college football, and so they didn't want to push it off for as long as they wanted to hurry it along because we can't hold up the college football playoffs. I think it was a failure on the people in New Orleans part to only postpone it by one day, but they only did it for one day. We haven't heard anything, so presumably everything went okay with the game. But I don't know if 24 hours is enough time to really survey the area to see if it was safe. Personally,
Damn.
So let's pivot because I don't think, like speculating is a good use of our time. Because obviously we don't know. But like, I guess an interesting question is the way that these things were portrayed in the last 2 days, and we were talking about all the weird things we heard again and again and again about by the 24-hour news media, and like, what does the 24-hour news media do to a story like that? How does it affect it?
everyone
Does
was
it-
covering it.
Does it morph it? Does it make it bigger than it is, smaller than it is, weirder than it is?
All of the
Well,
above?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I want to throw another scenario out. So I ended up going to the Patriots game last weekend.
400 people saw that, so.
When we went through security, all they did was facial recognition.
that's it.
That's all they did. I
They
didn't have to
didn't-
go through.
They didn't
any
frisk,
kind of,
check any bags, do any.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
They used to be way
all they
more
did.
stringent about that.
Now they did pull some people aside to do that, but I didn't have to.
Huh. Yeah, random screening is not always going to catch someone
that's
unless
one reason
you're
why I think
randomly selecting 80% or 90% of the people, and even then somebody could slip through.
Is it
So,
like,
so that's why I feel like we've become complacent in our security measures. Like,
did you go through one of those, like, do you have bombs in your pants cameras, like in the airport?
I doubt they have those things at the stadium.
It was literally just those tall towers, and it's just for facial recognition. That's all it did.
Oh, that's crazy. Because I remember like last time we were at a game at Highmark, it was, it's a little while back now. Was it 2016, 2017, somewhere in there?
2016.
And they were like, you have to have transparent bags. You can't have a purse that you can't see through. Like everything has to be like identified that you're bringing in there. The check pockets, like full pat down, everything to every single person going in. I mean, that's why it takes forever, and everybody just gets blitzed before the game.
But now everyone is saying, now everyone was saying that New Orleans is probably the safest place to be because they're reacting off of this event, and kind of along those lines. So there was a shooting in Las Vegas at Mandalay Bay.
Oh, I remember that.
However many years ago, I was there the week after for a conference, and I'll reiterate that. Like, I felt so safe because there was so much security around.
Do you feel like that's almost an overreaction? Like it should be more even keel. Like there should be more regularly,
I
and
think
not
in a lot of respects. Yeah, that it should be overkill with security measures. Security is supposed to be proactive, not reactive.
What surprises me too.
Do you guys think I'm overreacting to this?
No,
I don't.
These are deaths involved. This is a big deal.
Well, especially with how many events are happening, you would think that we would be more proactive.
I really think that the problem, and maybe this is ISIS, maybe it's mental health, maybe it's a lot of things, but I think the real dilemma is that when you do a crazy fucking thing like Luigi Mangione, like these guys, it's an easy way to become famous.
That's another thing I was going to bring up, actually.
The 24-hour news media is a fucking problem. It's a problem.
Well, right. And that's a good point that I was going to bring up, and maybe you're getting to this. I'll let you go if it's the same thing you were about to say. But no,
we're
just
out of time, so.
Our media tends to also glorify the not the victims, but instead they glorify the attacker, and that's terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Exactly what John said. They become celebrities overnight and martyrs possibly to other people that, to other sickos that want to like do it. Probably like inspires in a horrific way for other people to do the same
imagine
thing.
You have depression, right? And you want to commit suicide, and you feel like you're invisible. I mean, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to glorify it, but imagine, right?
I just feel terrible for these people. Like I was thinking about in the French Quarter.
Yeah.
You just go in there to have a good time and party. Like we were there on Mardi Gras one time. Could you imagine if a car just slammed into a bunch of people and just ran them over? Like, I mean, what if that was us?
Awful.
What if it was somebody we knew? Like what? I mean, and it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even have to be somebody. It's another person. Like they have a life. They have people. They have loved ones. It
makes me think of all the school shootings too, but that's a whole other topic.
So now that Mark's depressed us, we're out of time. Do you want to sing me a song?
All right. I want next topic. The next topic, baby.
Yeah.
Closer than my peeps you are to me.
Nice.
That's really good, Mark.
Mark's new interface sounds great.
It sounds great. Some smart
Thanks,
producer
Pete.
thought of that.
Yeah.
Producer
All right.
Pete.
We're gonna get right to it. Another season of fantasy football closed this past weekend, and being that we were all in the playoffs in our various leagues, I wanted to go over what a crazy season 2024 in the NFL was. It was a huge season for rookies with Brock Bowers, Brian Thomas Jr., Malik Nabers, and Ladd McConkey grabbing over 1,000 yards. Even the lowly Giants had their rookie running back, Tyrone Tracy, and top pick Malik Nabers go for over 1,000 yards, which makes them the third pair ever to do this, third rookie pair. And then cool Joe Burrow having an MVP season while his team fights for the playoffs with 4,600 passing yards, 40-plus touchdowns, and 8 interceptions as of today, which is one of 3 quarterbacks ever to hit that milestone. The 2 others, Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, both in MVP season. So I know the answer to this, but I want to let Stephanie talk about it. How did our fantasy season go? What was the biggest surprise, and what is some advice going into next season?
Well, I'm completely shocked that I actually won my league, considering that I was the Thank you. I was the last person to pick in our draft. I was number 12 out of 12, and somehow I ended up with some pretty decent players but most of all, my players didn't get injured. That's
the trick.
a huge thing. I mean, yes, I had Jefferson.
It also doesn't
I
ha-
had
hurt-
Chase.
You had the number 1 and number 2 receiver in fantasy football.
I had Cook,
on your team.
but I didn't have the best quarterback. I didn't have the best, tight end. I didn't have, but they didn't get injured. That shit, happens to people. I didn't have McCaffrey, who then got injured.
Yeah, you had consistent production every week, which is also why not only did you win the whole thing, you won the most high score. Her league does was it like $7 if you're the highest score of the week?
Each week, yeah.
So you got the high score award like 4 times.
Times, yeah.
It's pretty cool.
But it was pretty consistent where there were people who kind of sucked in the beginning and then got really good, or vice versa because of injuries or just, how things play out.
Yeah.
So this
I'll
is
take it.
now my I don't know, 15th fantasy football season. Typically, I was doing 3 teams the last 3 leagues. The last 2 years, I've done 2 leagues. And the thing that wins, you ride a player that's having the greatest year ever. I read a weird stat.
That is a truth fact.
That the percentages of championship teams that had the breakout players this year, that had the Trey Bensons, that had the James Connors, that had the Lad McConkeys, where you grab a person and you could probably have grabbed Lad McConkey in the 6th or 7th round in a redraft league, and he was a 15 plus, 20 plus point guy every week. Every week.
Yeah, he was great.
And then the other thing on the flip side, you don't run into these bad luck picks. You don't pick Christian McCaffrey in the first pick. How many teams picked Christian McCaffrey and suffered all year? The year that I picked Jonathan Taylor and suffered all fucking year, Jonathan fucking Taylor.
Yeah,
so
it happens.
there is this is why this game is so good. It's a good game because you can know
Is
a ton about you can know a ton about it. You can know a ton, and you could not guess that a year after a horrible wrist injury, Joe Burrow is going to come back and have a MVP style season. Even if
You could know
You're
nothing
so-
and go into it and do
Yeah.
pretty well. That's half of our league is
Yep.
And
people
there's
who
so
don't really
much
know
of
that
it
much.
That's just statistical analysis. And so, if you're just good with numbers and you're good at looking at data, you would know shit about football and still be pretty good at football.
Yeah.
I guess it depends who you're playing against, though.
And there's still that element of luck too. But hey,
Unless you're in a dynasty league and you've been building your team for a long, long
speaking
time.
of that,
So John, how does your team do?
yeah.
So, Pete, how long have we been in this dynasty league?
Oh man.
It's got to be at least
Long enough to where my auto draft accidentally drafted what's his face? 30 Sanchez. Mark Sanchez. Yeah.
Dirty Sanchez.
That was
So let's just say after
Hey,
10 years.
Chris
of
Berman
our
on ESPN primetime called him Dirty Sanchez, so I'm allowed to.
14 player keeper league. So we keep 14 of our best players. 8 offense, 6 defense. We have defensive ends and safeties. We have linebackers. So after that, and I was very bad for a couple of years, but I've been building this team for a while. I finally won.
Another round of applause for John winning this big fantasy
and that's
league.
the thing, right? So our commissioner traded me Derrick Henry for way too much, the age that I grabbed him.
But you won.
Derrick Henry had probably the biggest resurgence season of any 32-year-old running back probably ever. I mean, Derrick Henry's 32 and he came second in the league in running yards under the beast Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
But,
He doesn't
I
look like he
rode-
slowed down an iota.
We thought he was gonna tuck her out with all the time he got used, and no, he's still trucking along.
Dude, he loves
I rode
it.
Derrick Henry and I rode Joe Burrow right into the championship.
You
I
rode
had
them.
CeeDee Lamb.
Oh yeah,
I did. And
epically.
So I think one of the best moves of the year is I was like, I really need to figure this out. And so somebody was offering Travis Kelce for a second round pick. Well, Travis Kelce, I offered a second round pick for him, which is what we do. And I overbought. I totally overbought. But you want to know why I feel really good about that trade?
Because you won the league.
On the championship game, he scored 20 points. He was just open all day last week.
I mean, that alone made it worth it, right?
Made it worth it.
The game that matters the most.
It felt really good. It's a good prize. I get a trophy. And I think I might be competitive next year. Though I did pick my new tight end. from the college draft. So I hope that I get it.
We'll see if he lands to you.
See, I'm just happy that our commish didn't win again for like the 4th straight year.
Yeah. So
Janice.
shout out to Janice. But you are the Chiefs of that league.
She's the Chiefs of the league.
She just kept winning, and
Even her sister claimed that the league was fixed.
yes, multiple
Doug,
times.
I know you're listening. Doug, congratulations for winning the greatest league on turf.
Yes.
One of
Very
our best fans, Doug, won greatest league on turf. Woo! First time winning that league.
Love first-time winners. I told
All
Pete
first-time
when he
winners,
lost in
yeah.
the playoffs that I was very happy he lost.
I got upset by
told you,
Matt Manager.
I love
Who? You know what though? I hold my head high because I lost to the guy that made it to the finals for Doug to absolutely obliterate. But you know what?
Obliterated.
It's all good.
Obliterated him. What do we think about teams that have 4 or 5 30-point scorers? I think Doug's average score was 140.
He was a beast.
His team was stupid. Anyway.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that was like Tara in our league at the end.
Oh yeah, she
was
picked up huge at the end.
And I
She
know
was
we
scary.
have a little bit. We were full point PPR. Is that what you
Yeah, yeah.
So
Her league is full PPR, so like receiving backs and stuff, and receivers that get a lot
still,
of
she
volume
was
are
getting the top
huge.
score multiple weeks in a row in the end. She was getting over like 150, 160 points.
That's big time right there.
And then
That was a lot.
I beat her in the playoff round. Thank you.
All right.
You did.
Just a final thoughts.
'Kay.
First round pick of the 2025 draft. Mark.
Yeah, who would you pick if
Knowing
you were the
what you know
Patriots
right
GM?
now.
I didn't hear that any of that because you were going in and out.
First round pick of the 2025 fantasy draft.
2020 what? 2025?
Yeah.
Next.
Fantasy
What's the
draft.
first
Okay. I
pick
thought you were going to
next
say the
year's
NFL
fantasy
draft.
Aaron
Oh, we have
Rodgers.
another
Wait.
question about that.
Hmm.
From what you know today,
Are you talking about the Dynasty League or are you talking about like any kind of
just redraft.
And
Most
fit.
people
Just a
would.
redraft.
Ooh. I mean, Jamar Chase is probably going to be up there, right?
That's my
I think
boy.
so too. What do you think, Pete?
I don't know. Maybe Chase. I mean, Jefferson again. Like he's still the best receiver, and the only reason he wasn't this year is because they're like, oh, Sam Darnold's going to be quarterback. No, it wasn't even going to be Sam Darnold. It was going to be the rookie quarterback, and then that fell through. So like this year would have been Jefferson first. Chase, in hindsight, Chase probably up there too. But it's one of those two, or honestly, Saquon Barkley.
I was going
is
to
probably
go that route. I was going
yeah.
to say, what about a running back? I feel Saquon.
Actually, yeah. No, duh. Yeah, Saquon for 2,000 yards this season. You're right, yeah. Saquon
That's
for
at least
sure.
what I'd
Take
say.
one on the Eagles. That was my answer. I think I tried
be mine.
running back to draft a wide receiver first a couple of years. I didn't
But he's
really
gonna be number
like
one
running back
ADP.
again this year. Yeah, I think Saquon's the guy. What do you think, Steph? Saquon?
That's what I said. Saquon.
Quads of
That would be
steel.
my number one pick.
What
And
would
Jamar Chase, although I said Jamar Chase, that wouldn't be my number one pick either.
you do?
Because he's not going to have T. Higgins next year.
Oh, that's
It's just
right.
going to be him.
He's gonna be a Bill.
So while I think
He's gonna manifest that. Oh,
You can make it happen. Bye, Mark.
oh no.
Mark,
where'd you
go?
And Mark, that was a bad frame to freeze on.
Mark, are you dead, Sunka?
Honestly, I'm impressed that his Wi-Fi hotspot from his phone lasted as long as it
he's
did.
on the hotel internet, but it's fucked right now, so we need to move on.
Okay.
We are at time. Pete, sing me a song, and I can just host the show for a little
Oh wait,
while.
I could do one.
Yeah, go for it.
Duck.
If you want to be my lover, you got to get with the next topic.
Gotta get with the next topic.
That was really fucking
Yeah.
good.
Spice Girls.
Spice up your life.
If you want
All
to
right,
be
well,
my
we're
lover.
gonna swap. We're gonna just swap orders because Mark's dead.
Marky Mark.
Mark. This freeze frame is amazing.
I took screenshot. Oh, at least some.
All right, well, let's fucking talk about it.
Let's
Over
talk.
the past 11 seasons, the NFL MVP has gone to a quarterback. And with so much impressive football being played, we have 3 quarterbacks, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow, who have put themselves at the top of that list. With Allen only starting this week's game to keep his consecutive start streak, he will probably not see a lot of action this Sunday. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, however, are in must-play games, with Burrow's being a must-win. So how do you think the decision is going to go when the dust settles? Is it going to depend on how the playoffs pan out and if the Bengals magically qualify? And Pete, why does the national media hate Josh Allen so much?
I will say one thing. I heard recently that there's only been 2 people who've ever won the MVP that have also won the Super Bowl. That usually
true.
it's
That
it's a bad luck thing to win MVP. It's only been, I think, Pat Mahomes once and someone else, like, I don't know, 90s.
Side note about bad luck things. I think Christian McCaffrey was on Madden this year. 2024 Madden, I think it was McCaffrey.
Is that bad luck?
Oh, yeah, no, that's really bad.
Yeah.
Okay, because
being on the
wasn't it
Madden
Josh
cover
Allen
is-
last year?
No, he was 22.
Okay.
And it didn't bite him that much. Although he did throw a ton of interceptions. So maybe
So
it did,
anyway,
actually.
I know a lot of Bills
we-
Mafia are saying maybe we don't want Josh Allen as the MVP. If it's bad luck, we'd rather take the Super Bowl. But you were saying, what if they do a dual MVP?
It's been done before. Actually, hold on.
But that would be Lamar and Josh.
I'm going to transition us to this because it's
Well,
the lesser of two evils.
Joe's having an amazing year. I don't know. His record just doesn't.
Yeah. John.
That's not him, though.
Yeah. Actually, John, put your mic a little bit closer to you, but lean also to your left. Yeah. So now you're in one of the windows.
Who's had
Oh, wait. Jules. I still have an old
who's
name
had
up
more interceptions?
I mean, it's not Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has the lowest amount of interceptions in the league for qualifying
Oh.
quarterback.
He does.
Joe Burrow is having the best offensive year. I went on.
Yeah, his
I would
defense
know.
just fucks him over.
there. Mark's back.
His defense fucks him over. So,
Yeah,
Mark, we're
I'm
talking
now
about,
on the hot spot.
Mark, we're
Nice.
talking about MVPs. The MVP question. And so, I mean, I think here's the thing, and we talk about this a lot on the show. It's the difference between the most impressive player and the most valuable player, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that the rest of the teams are a little more complete. I really do think Josh Allen deserves it because I don't think the Bills are a 14-game
Oh,
winner
absolutely.
without-
Josh Allen.
don't-
Hell
is the
no, they're
team.
not.
I don't think they're a 14-game winner without
James
Josh Allen
Cook is
at
a
all.
James Cook is a great running back. Other than that, what skill position do they have? Like, okay, I love Khalil Shakir. He's awesome. He's a great story. He's a wide receiver 3 on every one of these other teams that are in the
Every
top,
single
Yep.
team in the NFL except
right? He's the Bills' wide receiver 1 because they're not using Amari Cooper that much yet. I hope they
old.
figure. Yeah, he's old, but he's a great, like, I'd say he'd be a solid number 2. They need.
I think Amar's going to come through in the playoffs. I really do.
I hope so.
Do you guys does
Maybe they're
the
keeping him
Mafia
fresh for
think-
that.
Do we feel really good about Josh throwing across his body, tossing that ball up for Keon,
No.
and Keon just catching it?
Oh my God, that was such like play school football right there.
You know,
Backyard football.
I used to say no, and now I just say yes, yes, yes.
So we like Keon Coleman now because I know you weren't sold in the beginning of the year.
I'm still not sold. He's
All right, that's cool.
his best metrics are that he's a big high point catch slot receiver.
Missed a few games in there too.
He's like, yeah, he's like he's a slot receiver skill set in a awkwardly skinny tight end's body. It's really weird, but it works as long as he's a role player. He's not an ex number 1 receiver.
You know, I'm a little surprised that Patrick Mahomes doesn't get MVP
Pat
consideration.
Mahomes
I'm
didn't
not.
make the Pro Bowl this year. You guys.
Where would the team be? They would not be 15-1 if they didn't have Pat Mahomes.
I think they might
No.
be 15-1 if they didn't sacrifice small children and do whatever they prayed to the dark gods.
Besides that,
I think there's other things of why they're 15-1.
It's Andy Reid. He should be the
I think
MVP,
it's Andy-
honestly.
I think Andy
But-
Reid is the
but
MVP.
Pat, I mean, they were trailing in a lot of those games, and Pat Mahomes drove down the field.
But
to
they
give
were
them the lead.
barely won in most of those games.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He did-
A win's still a win. Whether you win by
Yeah, but that
1 or
doesn't
win
make you
by 20.
MVP.
I mean,
He's
they're
not
the
doing
reverse-
fantastic things like the other.
They're the reverse
QBs.
Bengals.
His
He is
accuracy.
doing fantastic things. He just doesn't have the numbers.
Yeah, but his accuracy's not been. I've watched a lot of turnover worthy
He was
throws and
way
there's
better last season.
He's a lot more erratic than he usually has been.
He had a better supporting cast last year. And, well, keep in mind
That's
that
not true.
Rasheed Rice,
Dude, he has
Rasheed Rice, his
D-Hop.
number 1 has been hurt.
He has D-Hop. He has
That's
Hollywood
not
Brown
true.
now.
Yes, it
he
is
has
totally
Travis
true.
Kelce.
His receivers are the best they've ever been.
No, they're
in his
not.
whole career.
No,
Yeah.
they're
No,
Yeah.
no.
No, when you had
Tyreek Hill in his
Hill-
prime was the best receiver he ever had in his career.
He still has 2 wide receiver ones on almost any other team. They're a little old.
Who?
Worthy?
You think D Hop's a 1?
Yeah, D-Hop's a
No, he's
one.
not.
No,
He's a proven one.
D Hop is like Amari Cooper on the Bills. He was a dominant one, and now he's like the KG vet who's a solid
And
number 2.
Who's the other one that you're thinking of? Worthy?
Not worthy.
No, Worthy's just
Chelsea?
The other
yeah,
one that just
Kelsey.
and one of them just came back from
Brown,
IR.
Brown.
Yeah,
He is not. Hollywood Brown is not a number 1.
No, they're
Far
not.
from it.
He's not. But
Far
it's
from it.
no. But I'd still say their collective talent at skill positions, and if you
I mean,
combine them
can't
with
tell me that
Pacheco,
Rashee Rice is better than those guys. You can't say that.
Yes.
he was trending that
Absolutely.
way before he got hurt.
Before he ran people.
Before he got tackled by
Yeah.
Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes.
And mind you,
Before he
we
got
are
tackled
not.
by the law.
We are not because it's easy to forget this.
He got injured by Pat Mahomes trying to tackle
Oh
someone.
yeah,
Remember?
that's right.
Oh yeah.
We're not talking about D Hop in his prime, right? Because that would be
cleared by that, by the way.
undisputable number 1 receiver.
Talking about
But
now.
back to
Yeah, now,
Patrick
exactly.
Mahomes being a bit shitty this year. While he is in the top 10 for passing yards, you know who's very close to him? Mr. Irrelevant Brock Purdy at literally less than 100 yards less passing. I mean,
He's
he
pretty
didn't have a good
broken
year.
now.
But again, this
No.
isn't the player with the best stats. This is valuable to the team, right?
Well,
Yeah,
it's-
but that's also the
mean-
argument that people are trying to make for Josh Allen, but that all of the Lamar fans are like, well, but now it's the best stats. And it's like, well, last year Lamar won
No.
without the best stats. He won because he was the most valuable to his team.
Okay, but
Well,
let's
So they
Josh
won it.
Allen,
Really
clear is the
If
clear.
if you're basing it
Let's
on that,
really
it's
clarify.
Josh.
Yeah.
Let's really clarify this though. And this is gonna matter if they make the playoffs. But Joe Burrow is both the best stats and the most valuable to his team.
Yeah.
But he's
I-
got Chase, and he's got some
He
really
does have
Chase
way
and
better
T.
weapons.
Higgins.
He has better wide
I
receivers,
mean,
sure.
How would
he
Joe-
has willed that team to a 500
How would Joe
record.
Burrow do with Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir,
I don't know.
random
He doesn't
guys
have
off the
them.
practice squad,
right, not
and
having
Mac
a
Hollins
good WR1.
He
and a-
doesn't have them.
and Amari Cooper for one? He gets to throw to Amari Cooper 1 to 2 times a game.
241 more yards than the next guy. The next guy being Jared Goff and Dan Campbell's insane offense.
People were putting Goff as the MVP too, but it's like, dude, you have freaking Sonic and Knuckles opening up your passing game. You have Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's one of the best like possession receivers in the league and yards
Probably
after
the best,
catch.
honestly. And you have the most, and coaching matters. You have the most aggressive offensive head coach.
Yeah, Campbell's coaching out of his mind right now.
Out of his mind. They're doing fall down, fake
Yeah.
fumble plays.
Right.
So are you
Fucking
implying that
passing
Josh? Are you implying that Josh Allen is winning despite Sean McDermott?
Yes.
I am,
Yeah.
By the way. I am.
I've been saying
And
that for
I-
years.
But I really like
know my
Sean, and I
audience.
say yeah.
And I know several people that listen to this show and people that have been on this show would agree with that.
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone that's been on this show that knows about the Bills and Sean McDermott have said he gots to go.
I
All right,
will
are
say
we in-
he
are
is
we in
better this year.
consensus?
He's been coaching, like his analytics decisions and fourth down, when to go for, when not, have been much better. He's aggressive on offense now
But also
we're at
because you
time.
have
at the right times.
because you have
Oh yeah, Joe Brady is the offensive
Brady.
coordinator, but I think McDermott is learning when to defer to his coordinators and also trusting
I mean, a
his
full season
analytics
of
as
Joe
well as
Brady
his
and you're
gut,
13
which
what are you, 13-3? A full season of Joe Brady
and Joe's undefeated at
looking
home.
pretty good.
seems to be the difference. All right, so we're out of time. Round the horn. Final answer: MVP 2024.
Josh, I gotta go for my home guy.
Josh, we're all Josh.
Clear Josh Allen.
Josh and Lamar
Dude.
halvesies.
Case closed when he threw a pass.
No bad juju thrown.
Wasn't there a year there were co-MVPs?
There was. I forget who
We
won
said
it.
that while you were
Yeah.
Yeah, it was an exact tie in the voting group, so they just gave it to both. But okay, Josh in one play recorded a touchdown pass, a touchdown catch, and a rushing touchdown.
If only he didn't
Or
have
something.
that one game where he just sucked.
I mean-
against the Patriots, like
Oh,
that kind of just.
Hey, that's
Yeah.
that's luck that happened. But B, it's also very smart of Amari Cooper to just toss it back.
I love the interview with that. Amari was like, he looked like he wanted the ball. I was like, I don't know, I'll just here, take it. Josh fucking flies Superman like 5 feet through the air in the Superman
I think
pose
he's
and
like
scores.
Snow Samson too. He seems to play better in the snow.
He just
All
Anyway.
right, we got to move on.
All right, moving on.
Am I doing 2 topics now?
No. Yes, I'm at 2. So if you just
I've only done
are,
1.
if you are the second topic now, then we'll be fine. So we'll still alternate, and you just go last.
Okay.
Oh.
We just swapped.
Okay.
Switcheroo. Next topic.
We'll use that.
I'm in.
All right. We've kind of talked about this a little bit. We're gonna talk it. Actually, no, we haven't. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Anyway, flip that. Change it.
What?
Reshoot.
Flip it and
Reshoot.
reverse it.
Reshoot.
Oh my god, I was gonna say
Reverse
that.
it.
That's what I was actually thinking of.
That thing.
So the number 1 seed in the NFC comes down to a battle at Ford Field between the Minnesota Vikings and Detroit Lions. The winner of this matchup gets a guaranteed home game throughout the playoffs, and the loser drops all the way down to the 5th seed and will face the NFC South Division winner at their home stadium, who has an inferior record, potentially barely over 500. So everyone, does the NFL need to update its playoff seedings based on record rather than divisional status?
Be like the NBA.
A little bit.
I think so.
When it comes
Is
to
it
instances
fair?
like this, though,
At the very least, I think it needs to be reseeded.
Yeah. I'm okay with all the divisional winners making the playoffs, but I don't think they should get a home game.
Now,
That doesn't make sense to me.
are there leagues that's true? Yes. Like, are there leagues that after a certain round of the playoffs that they reseed? Like, maybe you start your wild card structure this way,
You
but
mean
then
like fantasy football.
yeah, well, no, but right. But then
Well, the
when
funny
it gets to
thing
the
is-
divisional round, then it actually goes to hey, who had the best record?
You jerk.
I mean,
there
the
you go.
funny thing is football kind of recedes because it's not a static bracket because the number 1 team faces the lowest seed, right? It's not always going to be one particular team. Like
True.
they kind of do that already, but it's just
Well-
everyone. If you win a division, you get a.
Well, I'm saying like if you're the bottom wild card, but you have a better record than the bottom division winner, you should be seated ahead of the bottom division winner.
Exactly.
Well, it's just like in this
and
case.
This happens just about every year. I wish I unfortunately didn't have enough time to do all the research, but I do know there have been since the NFL expanded its playoff format to 12 teams back in 1990. I believe there have been 2 or even 3 division winners that have been below 500,
It's happened.
and they get to host a playoff game.
Didn't the Giants win a Super Bowl in 2011 with a 7-9 regular season record?
Yes.
Maybe.
I think it was that bad, and no, like they just got hot at the last second.
And we beat a team I know.
I don't want to talk about this.
What
Yeah,
was that
let's
team
talk
that
about
we
this.
beat? I forget if Mark wants to remind me.
So I want to throw some stats at you. So home teams are 37-31 since 2010, but they're 16-8 since 2020 when the NFL playoff was changed to 14 teams.
Wow, that's a lot more weighted to home advantage than I thought, because it's not that way in the regular season.
I mean, I guess if we look at the NFC, right? We look at the NFC, and we look at the North versus the South.
Heard that, Pete.
It's a little sad.
Yeah, the Falcons
NFC
and the Bucks
The
are
NFC
either the Falcons
North
or
has
Bucks
a
are going to win.
combined 28-39, and then the Bears 43 wins, and the NFC South has 17-22, 26. 43 wins to 26.
Either the Falcons or the
Oof.
Bucks are going to get a home playoff game, and at best they're going to have 10 wins. Meanwhile, the Vikings or the Lions are going to have 15 wins. No,
No, the
14.
14
One or
win
two
team
losses.
is going to be the 5th seed, which is ridiculous.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
This I believe is
Insane.
the first year ever that there will be 3 teams with at least 14.
And wait, are the
wins?
Packers not even going to make the playoffs?
No, they're in the playoffs.
they're in the wild card, right?
11
They're like
and
the number
5.
6 seed or
Jesus
something like that.
Christ. I don't know. I don't think it'll ever change. I mean, there's some logic into resorting the divisions, but they'll never do that either because they love their divisional rivalry games. their locations are reasonably close. Michigan, Minnesota.
But think about it, John. You wouldn't have to face the Eagles and the Cowboys every year.
I fucking hate this. And now the Commanders are great. Ah, so hard to be me.
What are you gonna do?
So, what do you think the Vikings should be the number 2 seed? If they, or I'm sorry, the loser. I guess I just kind of showed my cards of who I think is going to win on Sunday.
Yeah.
Do we think the loser of the Lions and Vikings game should be the number 2 seed?
I mean, it seems like it would make
Second-best
sense,
team in
right?
the league. I mean, let's think about it for a second. If we break down, how many teams are in the NFL playoffs?
14, 7 in each conference.
So, I mean, there's 4, 8, 12, 6. So every team makes it? Is that real?
No, 7 in each conference.
I mean, what if you compromise and just said, okay, home field advantage goes to, it's almost like a mixed seed where you still play based on seeds the way it is now, but the home field advantage goes to the team with the better record.
I guess if you do record, is it fair that the NFC South doesn't make playoffs because they don't, right?
No. Divisional winners will still make the playoffs.
Still make it,
They'll
but
still make it.
but the seeding would be different.
But they wouldn't potentially get a guarantee.
The 8 and 9 division winner is the 7th seed instead of the 14 and 2 top wild card.
Or you're saying they keep their seed, but maybe don't get home field advantage if they win theirs.
That was my thought. If you want to kind of strike a compromise, at least for the first year to ease into this transition, is that you'd give home field
I don't
advantage.
see how that works.
Well, so you would make the matchups based on the seeding the way it is, but the home field advantage would go to the team with a better record. So that way, if you say
What if you're playing someone?
say you have the 4 seed versus the 5 seed, and the 5 seed.
No, I don't necessarily like that because in that scenario, so Minnesota, let's say, loses the game and they're the 5th seed,
Yep.
and let's say that they beat the NFC South winner, so they're now the 5th seed. They could potentially face like the number 2 team, the Eagles, of which they're going to have a better record than the Eagles. So the Vikings get a home game over the Eagles.
I
Do you
mean,
understand the scenario?
had you reseeded in the first place, it would be that way anyway.
Well, if you're reseeding, then the Vikings in that scenario would be number 2.
Mark, say reseeding.
Reseeding.
Oh, that's true, right? So they wouldn't play the Eagles at all.
I don't know. I was told there would be no math. I think we've gotten too
Your
carried
question
away
was
with this.
incredibly
Okay, so
exciting
all right,
and
there's a
I'm the
hole.
math
There's a
guy.
hole in my theory. We found it. Never mind.
There's a hole in the button, dear.
I guess you got to go all the way on this or no. I don't know. I like the idea. I think, yeah, you should maybe just, hey, you win your division, even if it's a shitty record, you get into the playoffs. Why not have a shot at it?
They're never gonna change it, so
No, they're not.
cares?
But if they did, I like the idea of reseeding. I think it's deserved.
all right. Somebody sing me a song.
Sing us a song. You're the next topic. Sing us a song tonight.
Great beat. Super duper good.
I think we've done that one before, but that's okay.
That's super duper good, man. All right, I'm gonna get to this question because I've been hanging it on, and Stephanie's here, so we're gonna talk about it. It is clear to the sports world that the biggest prize in this MLB offseason was Juan Soto. So
Uh-oh.
almost 3 months
Hello?
removed from the end of the World Series is over. It's been over for a while. Soto
John, can you
accepted a
restart the question, please?
gargantuan offer.
Yeah, John, start over. Sorry.
Am I lagging?
Yeah.
It just
there you
froze
go.
for a second.
All right. So it is clear to the sports world that the biggest prize in this MLB offseason was Juan Soto. So almost 3 months removed from the end of the World Series and the Soto sweepstakes. It's been over for a while. Soto accepted a gargantuan offer for the New York Mets for $765 million over 15 years. After losing out on Soto, however, the New York Yankees have taken those budgeted funds and used them to grab 4 of the biggest players on free agency, including Max Fried, Devin Williams, Cody Bellinger, and Paul Goldschmidt. So what do you think of the offseason of both the Mets and the Yankees so far? Did the Mets land the generational player they needed, or did the Yankees end up better by using that massive sum to solve more of the problems?
By the way, I love how you phrased that. When you said "end of the world" series, as opposed to "end of the World Series." It's like the end of the world.
You know what I'm
Serious.
tired of seeing? ball drop memes with Aaron Judge dropping a routine fly ball. Because that makes me fucking sad.
That is
man.
sad.
Makes
That-
me sad.
Mark, that reminds me of
Fly ball.
the famous South Park episode where it was a World of Warcraft episode, and the developers are like, "This could be the end of the world of
And so
Warcraft."
just to relate it, and I don't know if you followed, but like, would you use a massive sum of money to solve one problem or four problems? Because that's the difference between what the Mets did and the Yankees.
Even though the Yankees tried, right?
Shut up.
I don't know, Steph. Go ahead. I want to hear what you think about.
I mean,
about this.
700.
Would you have been happy if Juan Soto was on the Yankees for $750 million?
Seems like a lot of money. Like way too much to spend. I mean, I guess they don't have a salary cap.
I was gonna say I'm a little bit out of how much
That's a lot
baseball
of money.
players are making nowadays.
$765
I think that's the biggest
million
ever.
That's chump
700
change to me. So
$765 million of non-deferred money. It's about $50 million a year. Is the biggest MLB contract. But I mean, that's what happens in the MLB. Every big player gets the biggest contract ever. And so Juan Soto was not going to go anywhere for less than the biggest contract ever. Now,
Right.
the thing that's weird, here's the thing that's weird. Obviously, the Yankees offer was the biggest contract ever. Obviously, the Mets offered him more money. But when it came down to it, Juan Soto spoke to being disrespected by the Yankee organization because his driver and his cook got kicked out one day, and his mother didn't get a suite. That's what he spoke to, right?
Interesting.
There are some accelerators in Soto's contract with the Mets that can get him to $800 million.
Up to $800 million.
That is more than Shohei Ohtani, and Shohei Ohtani pitches. I think the one big knock.
Well, the average value per year is still better for Ohtani.
Ohtani got less years. Yep, the average value a year. Now, I think the one real thing that I think the Mets were banking on is that Juan Soto is very, very young.
Very
mean,
young. 26?
Probably,
27?
hey, Jeffem, probably for Jeffem's memorable Mets fandom career, he's going to have Juan Soto as a player.
I mean,
Well,
15-year
didn't I hear-
contract. He's got to be pretty young for that.
Well, didn't I hear there's an opt-out after 3 years?
I think that there
seems-
probably is, but I did not look into it because I was very bitter.
That might be a big. That
But
is a very
John,
team-friendly consolation for
yeah,
sure.
after
The
all,
way that you
all
phrase-
places to go.
Yeah, the way that you phrase that question, I don't believe that. I mean, the Yankees did essentially fill that one spot with 4 people. However, they, in some respects, the total of the 4 players is going to be greater than the one, right? Especially because you got.
That's what I would think.
pitchers.
We got. I think that the Yankees and maybe because I didn't know the plan that I was a little salty, but now that I know the plan, I feel really good about it. Max Fried is probably the best left-handed pitcher on the market. That's not an exaggeration, right, Mark?
I'd say he's up there if he stays healthy.
I mean, Max Fried is essentially the Yankees' number 2 pitcher.
Yeah.
And Devin Williams is probably the best closer on the market.
Oh, without a doubt.
Without a doubt, right? And so the Yankees have now totally solided up their pitching rotation. They've totally solided up their bullpen. Cody Bellinger is probably the best outfielder on the market, not including Juan Soto.
I even knew who
I
that
don't know
is.
about that.
Kind of.
I don't
I
know
knew the
about
name.
that. I mean,
He's still pretty young.
he's a lefty, though.
Sure.
He's a left-handed
really good.
outfielder.
And then the only reason Paul Goldschmidt is on the team is to mentor Ben Rice. The only reason.
Well, I'm sure he's going to probably hit a few home runs.
I mean, he will hit some home runs, and he will play more games than Ben Rice. But Ben Rice is the future at first base in the Yankee organization. Everybody knows that. I hope they give Dominguez a shot this year. Dominguez is probably a top 50 rookie. He was a rookie last year, but he's a top 50 prospect talent that is in the Yankee outfield. They're still looking at getting a middle infielder because Gleyber Torres has now left. So we'll get probably a middle infielder. The
I
Yankees
feel
are a
sad for the
little bit
Yankees.
kind of running out of a little bit of money because now we're spending a lot of money, a lot of players. But I think they're in better shape. I mean, I heard a rumor that the Yankees are going to go after Sasaki. Sasaki being the 3rd pitcher on the Japanese World Baseball Classic team, along with Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto, both on the Dodgers. The only thing that makes me sad about this baseball season is that Blake Snell is a Dodger because the Dodgers fucking cheat. So even if the Yankees blow
Okay,
out the
then.
American League again, and I expect them to be probably the number 1 team in the American League with this current lineup, I don't think they beat the Dodgers. So maybe I don't even watch baseball next year.
You know, what'd be really funny is like you expect them to be trash based on the first third of maybe last season, and then they ended up being great. They get all this stuff and watch. They like end up being trash for this season when they should be
expected them
much
to
better.
Trash when we talked about baseball before the season started, and I expected them to be trash because no one knew what was going to happen with Luis Gil.
Well, they started.
Won the Rookie of the Year.
Didn't they start badly too?
Not really. They
No?
started
Okay.
really hot. They started hot, really hot, and then they got really bad in the summer, which is just kind of a baseball trend.
Mm.
Teams kind of play bad in the summer. It's enough time for people to get hurt.
Oh, that's right.
For most baseball players,
The June swoon.
So many games.
Yeah, it's 100.
So
What is it like?
many-
162
so many.
games.
162 games, so many games. So my concern in the beginning of last Yankee season was to win in baseball, you need 2 15-game wins, right? And I didn't know.
Well,
who
you need
those guys
pitching.
were.
Yeah, you need
You
pitching.
need pitching. I didn't know who those guys were going to be, especially with Garrett Cole being injured before the season even started. And so
Yeah.
now Garrett Cole is back. Carlos Rodon is less of a janitor.
Oh, they're letting you use your spider tech again?
Yes. Carlos Rodon is less of a janitor. He won 15, 16 games.
Oh my
last year.
God! How are you a Carlos Rodon fan
He's
now?
less of a janitor. I mean, shit. I'm simple
Such a New York
victories.
sports fan.
Uh,
Such a New York sports fan.
Luis Gil is one
Oh my
year
God.
away from his rookie year, and he'll probably win 15. And Max Fried is here. So, I mean, right now the Yankees have probably the best 4-man rotation in baseball. And we might get Sasaki. So, fuck.
And do you think the Mets have a? I don't know. It's Uncle Steve that we're talking about, right? With the Mets, so they might still have some money to.
Do they have enough
spend
money
on a
for
pitcher?
the rest of their fucking players, Jeff?
I don't know.
How do they pay Pistol Pete? How do they pay Pistol Pete? How do they do it?
Yeah, that's a
No,
lot of fucking money
Yeah,
they
there's-
just spent.
Well,
There's no
I don't
salary
know.
cap,
According to
though,
Jeffem,
right?
he doesn't. According to Jeffem, he doesn't want to pay Pete Alonso.
Isn't there? I mean,
How do you not want to pay Pete Alonso? The Yankees almost took Pete Alonso out of spite.
I know.
I really wanted them to do that, by the way, Jeff.
all right, Mark, and John and Steph, pretend I know nothing about metallurgy or physics, or sorry, it's Ghostbusters quote, and explain to me what the hell is going on with MLB's salary cap or lack thereof.
What's weird is that the players are getting paid more money and baseball is making less, but it hasn't stopped.
Because
Yeah.
it's just coming out of rich owners' pockets, right? As long as the owner can afford it, right? It doesn't matter.
Well, baseball is still making money. I mean, keep in mind you have to pay $20 for beer at a stadium.
It's doing better than hockey, unfortunately.
And
Well,
everything.
let's not compare it to
Yes,
hockey.
everything is doing better than hockey.
I don't know, Pete. I don't know. People like sporting events. I can't
Yeah.
afford a baseball game anymore. I make an okay amount of money, and I can't afford a baseball.
Have the ticket prices gone up that high? Because I thought it used to be
Yeah.
pretty cheap to go to an MLB game. No, I mean
That's a
relative to
while
some of the
ago.
other. Yeah.
And the problem is, and you'll find this out, when you have to buy an extra ticket everywhere you go, things get more.
Yeah. Now we have the same
Oh,
problem.
he can stay at home by himself.
We'll watch him.
How long can we sneak him in? And the people at the gate are like, "Oh, what an adorable baby! He gets in for free."
Shove him in a backpack.
Definitely gets in for free now. I know the Mets do a Bring Your Kid Day, so I'm sure that the Yankees do. Sure,
There
the
you go.
Bills do too.
Not in the new stadium.
Oh, we can't afford to go to the new stadium, even just one of us.
They're like, "Would you like the right for your kid to enter the stadium?
I'm
$10,000."
I'm surprised they didn't charge you to take pictures of the new stadium.
I ran away. Run away! Somebody chased me. They're like, hey, you can't even look at that thing without paying. Personal look
We're at
license.
time.
We'd like to thank another fake sponsor, Surefoot Insoles. Tackle your day with Surefoot Insoles. Cushion comfort, dynamic support. Surefoot. Step confidently into every challenge.
That's pretty good. I actually could use some new insoles for my running shoes. I wish that was a real product.
Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. There'll be no holding back. Come on, it's time for next topic.
Ooh, that's a really good one, Mark.
Well, this is great now that we can hear the entirety of Mark's Next Topic songs and they don't get cut out from Mark's amazing voice.
All right, I'm going to talk about baseball now. In
Do
fact,
it.
I don't know if any of you have actually heard about this, even John. Now, baseball is trying to keep up with football and basketball in terms of attendance and viewership, as we've been kind of talking about. And they've made attempts at updating the game, including replacing pitchers for the DH in the batting lineup in the National League, regulating defensive shifts, and adding a pitch clock. But MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred wants to take it a little bit further, as he wanted to introduce the golden at-bat. John, have you heard about this?
And I have heard.
Okay, you have. So this rule would allow any hitter to jump his spot in the lineup to the current batter at any point in the game. Now, it is not clear as to more circumstances. For example, if this batter were currently on base, what would happen? And is this going to be a permanent change in the lineup? And if it's only temporary and that batter spot just happened to come up again, what would happen? There's lots of scenarios that happen that make this rule a little murky. But so everyone, what are our thoughts of this golden at bat in the MLB where a team could bat a hitter out?
No, hate it. Next topic.
Hated it.
Well said. Yeah,
So-
you see how powerful this rule could be, though, right?
it just seems crazy.
It's never going to be passed. It's really fucking stupid. It's literally from the Savannah Bananas. I don't like it.
So how does it work in the
at
Savannah
all.
Bananas then?
I think we need to
I mean,
mention
it
the
works-
Savannah Bananas
it
in every
works
episode.
just like it's advertised in the Savannah Bananas. They can put anybody up at any time because the rules don't fucking matter because it's Savannah
Okay.
Bananas.
Sounds like a
Scenario
little
here.
league game.
Yeah,
Let's say Aaron.
it just seems
Let's
too
say
silly.
Aaron Judge led off the game or led off the inning. Let's say it's the 9th inning. He gets a double. Does that mean Aaron Judge can bat again right after himself because the golden at bat?
Mark,
And so
And
who's
can you
now on
only
second
use
base?
it like once a game, or
Yeah,
is this
is this-
something where you can
You can
just
only use it once a game.
Okay.
Okay.
Mark, I gotta tell you.
Can it make the Daily Double Jeopardy sound when that happens? Like, Aaron Judge is back up.
It's so stupid that I think that this is the kind of thing, if they do it in real life, that people stop watching baseball because it totally removes any sort of realness and strategy.
It's
stupid.
Jumping the shark equivalent of
Order
sports.
to the game and
That's a great analogy, Pete. Jumping the shark, because that's
is.
essentially probably what baseball's doing. It's like, well, we're just gonna throw everything against the wall and see if
or just like watch the game because you'll never know what'll happen with the golden bat.
Right. Who's going to be the golden bat in this game?
we're gonna let Aaron Judge bat for everyone.
Yes.
That's akin to like, hey everybody, the black sniper's coming out. Who's he gonna kill?
Right.
Find out next on baseball.
Yeah, it just sounds very theatrical.
Right. It's like something you'd expect at a WWE, but at least WWE you expect that stuff to happen. Like that's what you go to watch for. You don't
I
watch the
wanna
MLB
know-
for
It
that.
is fake.
I want to know who keep proposing this, because Manfred himself has actually said he's against the rule, but he keeps bringing it up.
Is it like Woody Johnson's sons who tell him who to pick up in real life based on their Madden knowledge?
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, John, why don't you divulge a
that
little
should
bit
have been a
about that,
topic.
just in case
We were
people
going to
are
talk
wondering.
about this, but we were on break. It came out a couple of weeks ago that Jets owner Woody Johnson takes free agent advice from his teenage sons because they play Madden.
I mean, it sounds like a recipe for victory, right?
And what year of Madden? Because that would explain why they picked Aaron Rodgers, I guess. Because if it was like Madden
And
2019,
Robert
yeah.
Saleh
Right.
has been
This
on
guy's
the
really good.
record saying he's competing football advice with teens, and he said that
yeah.
to news people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you hear
Jets
that
are a
the Jets
fucking
owner's son is
empire.
making executive decisions
Mhm.
about football players.
You told me this, yeah.
Now,
Unreal.
Is it weird that Woody Johnson, who's in his 70s, has sons? Sure, whatever, but he's rich.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
Um,
didn't Robert De Niro just had a baby and he's
There
like
is
80?
no way that the golden at bat rule passes, and I literally just looked it up, and I think I looked it up when I heard about it the first time if it was real, because it sounds.
It sounds like I'm watching like The Masked Singer or something. It's like,
Yes.
who is it gonna be?
Right. Right. Oh, can the golden batter have a mask on so we don't know who it is?
Or
until the end
there's
of the
some
game?
like big like
Well, I mean, for the Yankees, that wouldn't make
there's an
any sense,
unmasking.
but
Yes, at the end of the
anytime
game.
some monster who's 6'2" 10 comes out, you're like, oh, it's Aaron
That's
Judge.
true. That's obviously Aaron Judge.
Obviously Aaron Judge. Bigger than everyone.
All right, fine.
That would be interesting though if baseball started to implement things from the Masked Singer into it. That would definitely get more people involved.
But
Like,
I don't know.
what if like random
Yeah.
celebrities just started running the bases and they wore a mask?
You know what I saw the other day? I saw Russell Wilson taking spring training at bats for the New York Yankees.
Really?
He
And I
does.
forgot-
He does.
I-
He does that every year.
I
Does
forgot
he?
that really happened.
He does it every year.
I mean, most professional athletes are multi-sport athletes.
Yeah. That doesn't mean they're like
Athletic.
pro level at multiple sports.
I mean, being on a spring training roster.
Yeah.
Means you're good at it.
Do
Didn't
you
my
think Russell Wilson now kind of regrets choosing football over baseball?
not this year. He's playing really well
Not
this year.
Russell's playing out of his.
Better than he did the last 2 years.
I think that
He's
both
had
of
some good
those
games this
teams-
year.
I think that the Steelers and the Broncos are in a better place. And just because I don't like this topic, Bo Nix or Jaden Daniels for Rookie of the Year.
Ooh. Well, let's see how they do in the.
That's a great question.
Let's see how they do in the playoffs.
But those are the guys, right?
No, it's
That's
a
the
regular
question.
season award.
Oh, it's a regular season award. I think.
Isn't that the question right
That
now?
is the
Bo Nix or
question.
Jaden Daniels.
That is the question. I
Jaden.
mean, Malik
Yeah, I think-
Neighbors should really be on there. Let's be honest. Malik Neighbors should be a part.
Yes.
1,000 yards on the worst team in football.
Yes.
Yeah,
Probably.
that's
and,
true.
and over 100 catches as well.
Probably.
Yep.
Probably.
I would have said that for
That's because
Brian
they
Thomas Jr.,
tagged
but he
him.
wasn't
Drew
quite
Lock
as.
figured out. Oh, maybe I just throw to Malik
Right.
Neighbors all the time.
Yeah, I would give
45 points.
some honorable mention to Brian Thomas Jr. on the Jaguars too, because he played great.
He
But-
does pretty well.
But Jaden took his team.
Yeah, between the
I
two
think-
QBs, I think Jaden.
I think
that
Jaden's
end of
probably
that
going to win
last
it.
game.
Personally, I think Bo Nix has done better though, like
So,
throughout the year.
so did Bo.
Overall,
Actually,
yes, but Daniels
think
has the flashy
Jaden
plays
start-
that just.
I think Jaden started better and Bo ended better. I think that they're both in about the same place. I think Jaden Daniels is a better runner.
The end of that last game though,
Bo Nix is probably a better passer.
Yeah.
something like-
but Jaden pulled like some RG3 shit from 2012, like magical.
Took that team on his back.
That
and made sure
that week
they
said
won.
that when we were watching it.
Washington
in-
doesn't
in
like
the-
RG3
yeah.
comparisons because what happened to RG3 is his sophomore year.
Hey, he's gonna break the curse. No, it wasn't even sophomore year. It was the playoffs of his
Mention
first
it,
year.
Pete. Don't mention it.
Okay, before we go on and we're talking about it, and I did win, so we're not going to complain too much. But I watched that fucking Commanders game, and they threw the ball to Terry McLaurin one fucking time.
One time, they were just trying to make you sweat, John.
We're out of time.
You can't win by too much, John.
Hey, Mark. Oh no, it's not time yet.
It's not
my
time yet.
No, because we
Not time yet.
we did the reverse.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Sing me a song.
It's me. Hi. It's the next topic. It's me.
Nice.
Good job, Steph.
Pull that one out of your ass.
So,
Literally.
guys, just because, and I had it in the hopper, so we talked about it. So remember the last time we had a show, and I said that the only thing I wanted to see from 2024 New York Giants was them losing. They fucked that up. Fucked it up
Womp
bad.
womp.
That is a truth fact.
This Sunday's shocking 45-33 victory over the Colts, where Drew Lock's 1.18 EPA per play was the sixth best of any quarterback since 1999, has probably cost the New York Giants the number one pick in the draft. Their current percentage to getting the number one pick back, by the way, 1%. And even worse, they are now in the draft behind two teams that desperately need a quarterback in the Titans and the Browns. So with the Giants banking so much of this season on moving on from Daniel Jones, what the fuck were they thinking? Is this a response to the anger of the fans and the call for things like season ticket refunds? And also, Mark, how excited are you for Travis Hunter?
You think Travis Hunter was going to be the number one pick?
If the Patriots keep the number one pick, I 100%.
You see that really good run? Or no, never mind. There's like a really good
He's
running
the
back
wide-
that's
He's
a
a
dual threat.
dual threat. Yeah.
Travis Hunter is going to be the highest wide receiver that goes in.
I'm not
He's
100%
on Colorado
sure.
right
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure he's a true number one in the NFL. I think
So
I
do they
honestly
shop-
actually think he would be a better cornerback than a wide receiver.
Do you think
Really?
they shop Drake and they take one of the quarterbacks?
No, they're gonna keep Drake.
You know,
So then
I-
they pick a
they
fucking wide
need-
receiver. Like,
Well, no, listen.
They do
we-
need a
we
wide
mentioned
receiver.
this last time, I think this is what we thought the Giants should do, and I think the Patriots need to do the same exact thing. You trade down, you need multiple picks.
but who's going to trade?
Multiple first round picks.
Who's going to trade
Giants
for the first
are-
pick if they know New England's not going to take a quarterback?
the Giants are because they need to get above
Oh.
Denver. They need to get above the Browns and the
NFL
the
teams get
Giants.
really desperate, especially when it
Giants.
comes to the number one pick.
Yep. No, you're right.
Because
That's right.
here's the
Giants.
thing,
Oh my
we
God.
Is that blasphemy? Is that blasphemy, John?
We
No.
literally bet the fucking farm on a new
It
quarterback.
was hilarious. It was
Well,
hilarious.
Okay.
you still got Tommy DeVito, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess we have Drew Lock, who's the next MVP. I don't fucking
Drew Lock 25.
Guys,
And maybe, okay, so here's the really fucked up part. Maybe they just roll with Drew Lock for a season, and they fill some holes.
Yeah.
maybe
and they
Get
get
offensive
Arch
line.
Manning in 26.
Steph has a good point though. Maybe Tommy DeVito's magic comes only once every other
No,
year.
he
So next year he's going to be fantastic.
Well, maybe he'll be their only choice if something happens.
Drew Lock gets hurt.
John,
and
that's
it's
actually
just
not a
DeVito
bad
all year.
idea. That's not a bad idea because the quarterback class for next year is supposed to be better.
So
And also-
guys, this is what I was getting at. This is a 4D chess move by the Giants. They're punting the first pick this season to go for Arch Manning.
Maybe.
So
they are.
Giants would get second pick, right?
No, they're
No,
like
they're
fourth
down
or fifth
to
pick right
4 or
now.
5.
They are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there are a lot of
Patriots,
3-win teams, and the Giants just got their fourth win.
Titans, Browns, Giants.
Panthers?
Yeah,
No, they have 4
something like
wins.
that.
Wow.
Titans, yeah.
Remember, Panthers kept beating
That
teams and then coaches
sucks.
got fired.
Yeah.
Because Brees Hall is or what? Not Brees Hall. Bryce Young is back. He plays football now.
It sounds like when the Sabres spent 2 years doing nothing but tanking, and every time their goalies would get hot, they would like
Christ
release them.
And that's the thing.
And
about
then they
the
didn't even
Giants
get the
that
first
really
pick. They were
scares
going for
me-
McDavid
that really,
and lost
really
that.
scares me that maybe Arch is the plan, but somehow he's the prodigal son.
He's not even the plan in Texas right now.
Not
Well,
yet.
Quinn gets. I mean, they just won the Peach Bowl or whatever. Quinn
Yeah.
Ewers gets drafted this. He doesn't maybe
Yep.
go.
It's going to be Arch Manning's team next year.
Mhm.
I don't
Arch
know if you.
definitely plays for Texas.
He's going to have one season. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to be enough.
It depends on how good that season is. I mean,
Both Peyton and Eli played all 4 years.
Yeah. Quinn Ewers is very good. The Texas team is very good.
If
He's
Arch
gonna
Manning thought he was so good, why didn't he transfer?
He should have transferred. Definitely should have transferred. He played. Quinn was hurt in the beginning of the college football season. Arch played 2 games and he won them. He looked good. He looks
The
good.
team is stacked.
Their team is. They beat
No, they
Arizona.
almost lost. They
Pete,
almost
they
lost.
beat
to
Arizona
State.
State,
Mhm.
and I know what you were thinking. Cam Scatterbo, who is the
Cam
most exciting,
Scatterbo.
he's the most exciting player in college football right now.
He makes me think I could be a running back.
wait. Oh, yeah.
He's so
He's the
tiny.
guy who got stiff. He got his helmet ripped off, literally ripped off this past weekend. He got up and he just fucking mean mugged the dude. He's just like,
I'm kind of bummed too because I kind of
his name
pulled.
is Cam Scott, and his name is Cam Scatterbo.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Dude, I kind of pulled the Giants this year with my fantasy dynasty team because I should have tried harder to tank. And
Yeah, but don't you still
Did
have the
you win
second
at the
pick?
end?
No, I have the 3rd pick. I accidentally won a game late in the season that I shouldn't have.
So you're like the Giants?
Because I would have been number 1 or 2. Yes, I'm the Giants of our dynasty
I
league,
had the
for
third.
sure.
I had the 3rd pick. I won 3rd place in the league, so
Pete, I think you got fucked pretty bad because
Yeah.
maybe 4th place.
Yeah, you might be the 4th
Italian
pick.
Stallion, whose team was very good, like lost 1 game, and he's like, "Fuck it, I'm out." His team
Yeah.
was stacked.
I don't understand it. I really, I don't get it. Yeah. I was banking on being able to get the top running back in this coming draft, and now that's ruined.
I'm not even telling anybody.
Well, how is it ruined?
I'm not
Because
even telling
because he's
anybody.
going to go
I know
before me. I'm going to
well.
pick like 3rd or 4th, and I'm going to lose out on the top running back.
Probably
Most likely.
most likely.
Most
Cam Scatterbo. I just
likely.
want him to be on your team, Pete.
Cam
Can you just tag
Scatterbo.
him
It's
with
fine.
Cam Scatterbo
I got
for
Roma Dunze,
Scattaboo.
and I mean, he would be amazing with
Bears
with
weren't
Chicago if the
terrible.
Bears weren't the Bears. Damn it.
You did it
We're
twice.
gonna have a new
Pete.
coach.
You did
Caleb,
it
you were supposed to be
twice.
good.
Pete, the Bears and the Falcons
I
are
don't
bad
think
at football.
I don't think Roman Dunze is gonna be another Kyle Pitts. I really don't.
No,
Yeah.
he's way too good. It's just,
Every
and I didn't
every-
trade up to get him. I just had
And
the
I
third
mean
pick, so
every-
that's
Pete, I'll
fantasy
trade you for
football
Roman
blogger
Dunze.
that I look at.
No,
reel
I'm
that I
keeping
look
it
at about
Dunze.
fantasy football, literally every single one of them is like, wow, Kyle Pitts belongs in tight end jail. Kyle Pitts is the commissioner of tight end jail. He lives there. He loves it.
Kyle Pitts probably needs to pull a Mike Gesicki and change teams.
he does. No, Kyle Pitts is my golf
Could you
game.
imagine Kyle Pitts with a formidable quarterback?
I know,
and
but
an
no, he's
offense?
like my golf game. It's like every time, like I'm like, oh, he's the worst. I was so
Could
let
you
down.
imagine him
And then he
on
gets this amazing
Buffalo?
catch. I know, right? He gets this amazing catch, and then I'm like, oh, Kyle Pitts, you're back, baby. And then he goes away for another 3 games.
You want to know what's amazing about Mike Gesicki? Mike Gesicki scored a touchdown this past weekend and did a gritty
Did.
celebration, and Jamar Chase made
Did a
fun of
gritty-
him.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase just laughed. He was
He
like,
made
"What
fun
are
of
you
him?
doing?"
Oh.
He did. He made fun of him, like for fun. But he,
Yeah.
he totally like. he
Joe
couldn't-
Burrow also did a gritty.
Joe Burrow also did a gritty this
Huh.
weekend. The white guys.
All right. Are we ready?
I think so.
Are you ready?
Do, do, do.
It's the final topic.
Perfectly clear. Yes. And now you're gonna get a noise complaint at this hotel.
I know. I'm gonna get thrown out of this hotel now.
Can you imagine somebody trying to sleep in the room
I
at Jason
know.
and Mark, and all of a sudden they just hear, "It's the final topic!" And they're like, "What the fuck?"
Thankfully, I don't think there's anyone on either side of me right now.
It only
So
lasted
okay.
a couple seconds.
That's amazing.
if you're listening in the
said.
tri-state
Yeah,
area,
that's
then
true.
you are definitely
That's
aware of these mysterious drones that have been flying overhead at night since mid-November. Now, there are allegedly federal investigations within the FBI and Homeland Security, but no news thus far. The conspiracy theories that have emerged include aliens and foreign adversaries, but most people are under the impression the federal government is up to something and not being very transparent about it. So, everyone,
they
what do
ever?
we think?
Yeah, right.
What do we think are causing the drone sightings in Jersey?
The federal government.
The
is up to
government.
something and not
Yeah.
being very transparent about it.
Because they're not transparent about anything.
Right. It's some military weird thing, and we're never gonna know.
So
But I'd love it if it was aliens.
Yes.
I read this thing. All right, and I think it's very accurate. The federal government knows literally everything that is in our airspace, especially on the East Coast. The East Coast is literally covered in missile batteries. If something was there that we didn't want, we would shoot it down.
Especially after that many.
Unless it was a hot air balloon that somehow made it over a bunch of major cities. Remember that happened a couple of years ago?
That's on the West Coast.
Oh,
That's
that's
on
true.
the-
Yeah, that's right. They're a lot more lax over there. Never mind those guys.
Sorry, Amy. The Russians can send hot air balloons into Alaska, apparently.
I mean,
But here's the thing.
they got enough guns in Alaska. They'll be fine.
If we know about it, right? If we definitely know about it, then the question is, and I read another thing that they look an awful lot like, and I don't know the model because I looked it up a while ago, but they look like American military helicopter drones. That's what they are. And so what are they looking for? That's my question. Now, my question is not what they are. My question is, what are they doing?
I mean, maybe there was.
And they've been doing it for so long, too.
Okay.
Well, I've literally been down there almost every week from the past month, and I haven't seen any.
Has the,
Distracting the people.
so the FBI doesn't know what's going on. What if this is some weird CIA shit and there's like some like undercover agent that they're trying to like do reconnaissance on? They're like a double or triple agent from some
So
other
they're
country.
Either investigating a threat, which is probable. They're looking for a threat, which is probable, because they all probably have heat vision. Why are they flying
course
at
they do.
night? So they don't distract people. I mean,
Oh, that didn't
are
work.
the-
Unfortunately, yeah.
are the,
Unfortunately,
are the
people got
orbs
distracted.
Real? The orbs that are crashing them? No, that's fake news. And is every AI alien that you see on TikTok right now real? No, that's AI. I mean, this
But-
is something.
But the Democrats can actually alter the weather and cause hurricanes in red states, and Jewish space lasers can actually destroy stuff too.
Obviously.
Right? Those
So
are
that
real.
was I'm pretty sure, like, I'm on the same boat as all you guys. The federal government obviously is doing something. But
doing something.
apparently not everyone in the federal government knows about it because Marjorie Taylor Greene has gone off about what these
She's a loony
are.
bin.
Yeah.
It's
Wouldn't
so
it-
funny
would
to
it be
see
funny
her
if-
worked up, and she has like the weirdest things, like the Jewish space lasers.
Right.
That's
I think-
just hilarious.
Would it be funny if like everybody else in the Senate knew except for her? They just kept it from her.
I mean,
That would be pretty funny.
we live in a world with a 24-hour news media. We live in a world where you get money by clicks on everything that you post things on. I mean, it doesn't even suit them to make it real. And I think that the problem that we're running into is we also live in a world where for 4 years Donald Trump distracted us with ridiculous things in order to get crazy shit passed in Congress, which I think is happening. They're either protecting us against something very scary or they're
Right.
distracting us and doing something
That's
very scary.
what I said when
Yeah.
he mentioned the topic. I think they're also just doing this to distract us in general
Yeah.
as a public.
Hmm.
It's a theory.
All the
'cause-
people with their alien theories. It's not fucking aliens. Not
I wish it
aliens.
was.
I know.
Take me away.
At least if it was aliens, it'd be exciting and it wouldn't be terrible and ethically gray.
It's not as bad as
Yeah.
what our reality is.
Pete, bringing up this topic did remind me of that night you and I were on the Northway and we
Oh.
saw this green light,
The UFO.
the UFO. Yeah,
Because it was a bright.
Pete and I are pretty sure we saw a UFO.
Yeah, and I mean,
Believe
neither of
you.
us were that drunk. We were coming back from Denny's, so we'd had time to sober up at this point.
You know, Denny's is closed.
Oh, that's sad.
Oh,
Eh.
But
Sadly.
not the point of the story, John.
no, all right. The way I remember it, Mark, is that, and I've told you this
Oh
story.
yeah, I know. I believe you.
It was a bright green dot in the sky
Bright
that was
green dot.
completely stationary. Completely stationary. So it wasn't on a set trajectory, and all of a sudden it went whoop, like
Laser pointer.
And Pete and I both looked at each other. It's
no,
like, what the
that
fuck?
was not a laser pointer. It was a clear sky. There was no
and you both
fog,
cried.
and it was
Pete and I
really
both saw
bright.
the same exact thing.
Right.
You
So
guys make out after?
we should have. I mean, okay. So I've
Then
seen.
Liam was born.
I've seen shooting stars. I've seen meteors. This looked nothing like that. Okay, and yes, some was it magnesium. One metal does burn green re-entering the atmosphere, but I've never seen anything
But
going
the
from.
the fact that it was stationary.
We saw
all
it
of a sudden
stationary
zoomed
first.
out.
And then it accelerated. It wasn't like it going the same speed right across the sky. I've seen that before. Yeah, this was like,
So,
And we both saw it.
uh-huh.
All right,
It
we-
wasn't just one of us. We both
Yep.
saw it.
on
I
the
mean,
way-
I believe aliens exist. I just
Yeah.
don't think that's anything to do with the drones.
and immediately we looked at each other like, holy shit, did you
let's
see that?
back it out a little bit.
Back
What
it
do
up.
we think
But
about
it's not the drones, you said. Yeah.
about the federal meetings about actual real aliens coming from the ocean, like in like the Congress that they're talking about right now before this happened? Is that real?
Wait,
Is
what?
More. There were actual
Is this-
federal.
you mean like War of the
congressional-
Worlds?
No, there were actual federal congressional meetings 4 weeks ago that were talking about, yes, aliens do exist. Yes, they come from the ocean. Yes, we have aliens. Yes, we have alien craft.
Didn't James Cameron make a movie about this?
Yeah. But that was before the drone thing.
Mm.
So nobody gave a shit about that. And so
Who brought
maybe-
that up to Congress?
Look it up. It totally happened.
I don't know. I do remember hearing this story though. That's
Alien
crazy.
Congressional meetings. Google it right now. Anybody who's listening.
Well, I remember them bringing it up in front of some committee, but I don't remember hearing about aliens coming from the ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
Real,
thing.
Actual news. Actual thing.
Yeah.
That happened.
I'm not denying your knowledge. I
mean,
just don't remember that.
The government is fucking crazy.
Yes, they
And
are.
we should end the show on that.
we're at time, so
So that has been our topics.
Perfect.
Please join us next week when we will have my boss, real estate tycoon Yvonne Souza, as our special guest.
Dun, dun,
talking
In the
dun.
meantime, you can catch up on old episodes on our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/@iftheseballspod. And don't forget to subscribe to us by tickling that little bell.
Tickle,
like
tickle,
and
tickle.
subscribe, everybody. 100 by 2026.
We would
Come
like
on,
to thank
Barb
our guests for
Stephanie.
joining us this week.
Yes.
Thank you, Steph.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
You can
I think
also
that's the only
follow or
person
like
that-
us on our socials.
Sorry, go ahead.
Dude, I only do this outro every single time.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're
No,
fucking it up.
You're the first
Am I
one that ever said
distracting
you're
you?
welcome for being on the show.
I
That is
People
not
usually like, thanks for
That's
having
not
me,
true.
and you're just
That's not
like,
true at
you're
all.
welcome. Sorry. Okay. Sorry.
You can follow or like us on our socials at If These Balls Pod on X, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, TikTok, and now Blue Sky. Our website is www.iftheseballscoulddtalkpod.com.
Don't we have a
No, I got it. This is Mark Pescian for my partner, John Companion, producer Pete Steffan, and creative director Stephanie. Stephanie, I screwed that up. That's what we say.
I'll just sing it live.
Night, everybody.
If these balls